Kia ora, good morning and welcome to the Deep South Invercargill on a beautiful Saturday morning and the opening weekend double round of D1NZ. The fans are out in their force. This town has been a buzz for a week about the D1NZ National Drifting Championship opening up here at Teretonga Raceway, the southernmost FIA-rated track in the world. You might say with the sun today, it's like the Riviera of the South. Stephen McIvor with new team member Joe Maulder in the house. If you know drifting, you know Joe. Welcome to the team, mate. But let's just get straight into it. Not too far away from Pro Sport and the start of round one and the drift battles. But we have to look at pros and what happened yesterday. Luke Fink, the defending champion, qualifies P6. What does that mean to you?
Well, he's not up in the pointy end of the table, but that doesn't mean the end of everything for him. He's really, really good at battling, so you could put him anywhere and he's probably going to fight his way to the top. A
lot of cars had technical problems yesterday because the track went wet, and it was wet yesterday for practice and qualifying, wet, dry, wet, and they were discovering that going from dry to wet and tyres, bang, things were blowing.
Yes, the wet conditions were obviously a lot softer on the car. As it started drying out, things started going wrong. There's been a few people asking for parts in the pits and also borrowing cars.
Yeah, but it's been a hell of a journey for a lot of people that come from the north and also the south. We've got to thank them for putting in this effort because it all leads towards the big round number 3, the final drift at Pukekohe. Oh, we'll talk about that all weekend. Connor Halligan, number 1 qualifier. What did that say to you?
Well, he was my pre-season pick.
Oh, here we go.
He came second last year. He's really consistent and he's still young in the game. So I'm hoping that he can really put it to the chase to the top this year.
Okay, have you got a dark horse in the field of pro?
Well, surprisingly, yesterday we had Rody Knowles coming in P4. That's got to be the best result for him. That's got to put him in a good position for the rest of the weekend.
Well, he is sharing the car with Ryan Parry in Pro Sport, so you'll see the amalgamated car. Can't miss it, bright yellow and beautifully conditioned, out and ready to go. We're not too far away. You can hear the cars getting ready for the open battles. Let's just remind you what's happened with the rules. There's been some changes. Take a closer look and listen.
The 2025-2026 season is here and we are ready to battle for the D1NZ New Zealand Drifting Championship. This is your competition format for the weekend. There are some big rule changes again this year. Line, angle and style are the scoring criteria which contribute to a qualifying score out of 100. There is a new points weighting system in place for 2026, line now making up 60% of the total score, with both angle and style now making up 20% each. After qualifying, the drivers are then set into a seeded battle tree. Each driver has a turn at leading and chasing during the battles, aiming to set or better their qualifying performance. The big rule change for 26 will see the higher qualifier get lane choice on the start line, choosing to either lead or chase first during the battle phase. The tandem scores are marked against each of the drivers' lead and chase runs, comparing lead for lead, chase for chase, culminating to a win, lose or sudden death OMT to find the winner. That is your format for the 2026 D1NZ New Zealand Drift Championship, live this weekend from Teretonga Raceway.
So as you can see, changes, the biggest change, Joe, that everybody's talking about, highest qualifier gets to choose whether they lead or chase. How does that change the game strategically now?
Well, it often puts a lot of onus back on the highest qualifier driver into what they feel their strengths are and what they feel the track conditions are going to do for their tyre wear.
Well, you drive and you battle. What would you do?
I don't battle. I'm a grassroots driver, but I don't see there's any problem with leading first, getting it out of the way.
There you go, lead the way. We are at Teretonga Raceway, getting close to the first battles in Pro Sport of the D1NZ National Drifting Championship. Double weekend here in Teretonga. Let's take a closer look at the track.
Well, it is time for the opening round of the D1NZ New Zealand Drifting Championship, and after nearly 6 years away, our Motorsport Roadshow makes a big return to the Deep South. Invercargill hosting round 1 and round 2 of the series with a massive double-header weekend. Invercargill, of course, is where the legend of Burt Munro began, with motorcycles and motor racing history making up a big part of the local scene, with plenty of tourist opportunity in the central city and out abroad to Stewart Island and some epic Deep South New Zealand scenery. Teretonga Park is home to the Southland Sports Car Club, who are hosting us this weekend on the FIA Grade 3 circuit, just over 2.6 kilometres long, with our round 1 drift section starting from the end of turn 1 through to turn 5. Initiation will be into turn 1 for the first outside zone. Lead car in the left lane, it'll be a Scandi flick on power initiation that scores well on entry here, and this is a very fast flowing circuit to start the season. There are 5 outside scoring zones to look out for, with a wide line goal set out by the judges for this event. On board now for a virtual lap thanks to Logitech, and a standing start out of the Monster Energy start gate, plucking through to higher gears with plenty of acceleration into the first outside zone. A lot of the teams will be running 3rd or 4th gear on entry, and even plucking gears mid-drift through to 5th or 6th, depending on the diff ratio. This is a fast-flowing, narrow circuit that needs plenty of power and the correct line to make it work well in the tandem eliminations. Keep an eye on outside zone 5 on the right-hand side of the track. This will be a decel zone with a lot of off-throttle time before getting the car settled and powering out over the finish line. Our judging officials this weekend are all former drivers, some of the heavyweight names of New Zealand drifting in the last decade. 4-time D1NZ champ Darren Kelly is back alongside Taylor James. Series veteran Andrew Redwood is also back in the judging seat, with Joel Counter keeping an eye on competition as our driving standards observer and review judge for 2026. Our penalties for this event have the usual suspects: wheel off track, always one to watch for. Straight line in the car will be a crucial one here on this fast layout. Excessive left foot braking will be another big one. You can use the left foot to settle the car with little dabs, but just using too much of it and slowing the car up will hand you a much bigger penalty over the guys who can stick it to the section at full throttle.
So that's what you and the drivers can look forward to. And now it's time to get busy for round 1 in the Pro Sport Championship. Dean Young, the defending champion, has moved up, and he's going to play in Pro Sport. So who is going to be a champion, the new champion in 2025? Blake Miles qualified top for the opening round, so we'll just have to wait and see. Time to join your commentary team, and it's a welcome to Ben Jenkins, and good morning, Warren Sare.
Oh, good morning, Stephen McIvor. Welcome to the South Island. What a beautiful day here, and welcome to you, Joe, joining us on commentary. Of course, my new co-host for commentary for the Pro Sport 235 Development Series, the one and only Ben Jenkins. He's doing double duties. Jumps on the mic during the Development Series, then he jumps in his own pro car. And Benny, there was plenty going on out there yesterday on the track. Real challenging conditions.
Definitely, Warren. There were some very challenging conditions as a driver, and then jumping in here in commentary for the Pro Sport yesterday. But yeah, the drivers did such a great job to adapt 2 tracks in the wet and then turning around to the 1 track in the dry, straight into qualifying after maybe 1 or maybe 2 laps of full dry. But yeah, it's going to be exciting today come battles.
Who caught your eye during Pro Sport? Because you got to observe. I jokingly said it might have given you a little bit of an advantage, because you did it right, didn't you? You went out there and threw down that 88, gave you a bit of a read, but who'd you like in Pro Sport? Who do you reckon we're looking at here?
Yeah, that's right. There's a local man in the R32 Skyline, in the tyre Skyline. He looked like he was putting down some heated lead laps, so hopefully he can transfer that into his battles today. Yeah,
that was Bradley Knight, the local man. Yeah, he stood out yesterday. The green colours really just smack you in the face, don't they?
That's right, that's right.
And the other guy that you were talking up the chances of yesterday, Sheldon Neal.
Sheldon Neal, I don't think he's competing, unfortunately, today. He has had a mechanical in that beautiful S13 of his. I think it's melted the piston yesterday.
Right.
Maybe an injector issue, he was talking, but he has raced back to Dunedin overnight, gathered another car, which they will now be putting through scrutineering. So hopefully tomorrow he'll be able to run the Sean Binnimer 180SX tomorrow for round 2.
What just phenomenal commitment from the drivers to be here in the Deep South. This is the southernmost racetrack, we believe, in the world. And some of these guys have come 22, 23, 24 hours as we are underway. It is young Z Mir up against Cameron Omblevray. The high qualifier is Cameron Omblevray, and he has chosen to chase first, Ben. So interesting there, Cam Omblevray, under the new rules, goes for the chase, and Zalia just puts it off the track there, and that's obviously upset Cam Omlevray's run there. She threw it way out wide there. Z is getting a lot more confident behind the wheel, but just hasn't quite got that polish there.
Yeah, that's right. She's upset the chase car there. The chase car making mistakes straight away after. So that's probably what the judge is going to look at that there. Unchaseable lead into the outer zone 2. But yeah, a bit of an untidy start there, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I mean, I do want to point out this is the 235 development series. Most of these drivers, as we take a look at the GT Radio replay, where Benny will apply his technical expertise later on as we get through the battles. Here, obviously, you can see where the mistakes are made. This is just inexperience. It's just probably getting carried away in the moment. Zalia maybe got the first corner right, but then what would that be? That would be like maybe 5-10k an hour faster than she'd been before, and it's just put her offline, and then Cam's got nowhere to go.
It definitely looked like the late initiation from Zalia there. Then maybe pushed her wide into outer zone 2. And then obviously Cam behind, being mucked up with an unchaseable lead, had to make that small error there.
All the viewing spots are gone here early this morning, haven't they, mate? We were sort of told yesterday by the buzz around town was phenomenal. We were told by multiple people yesterday just the social media and the vibe in Invercargill and indeed the wider South Island just towards getting here. They love their motorsport down here and they wanted to get in here early and get their preferred viewing spots, and this is one of those sort of old school tracks, isn't it, where you can park right where you want to watch from, either on the bank or the other side, or you actually cross the track, oddly enough. Is that Darren's plane? No, that's not Darren Kelly's private jet. No, that's an Air New Zealand flight, just heading who knows where in the world, chasing drift dreams potentially. Who knows, the next young drifter could be on board that plane. Welcome along all of you to the D1NZ National Drifting Championship for round number 1 and 2, coming to you from Invercargill, Teretonga, the southernmost location that you can go racing in the world. Big thank you to all of our sponsor partners for the weekend. Link ECU, of course, responsible for the home of Launchmaster Willie, the Link ECU start box. We've got GT Radial on board, the official tyre and our replay sponsor. Logitech doing some big things, and there'll be a little bit of an announcement maybe later on that you might want to pay attention to. A way to get involved in drifting, slightly different from going real-world drifting. Pay attention to that one. Mick, of course, sponsoring the exit zone and also VIP here today. The 10 Tools Podium, which, Benny, I know you're eyeing that one up there. You wouldn't mind a near $9,000 toolkit for finishing on the top step of the podium, and Pro and Mimico as well, who are sponsoring us in the VIP area, and they have been a long-term sponsor. Hello to Rex and the team. Morning, everyone. My name's Warren Sare. I've been doing this for about 20-odd years, and with me is Ben Jenkins, pro driver, and this year's Pro Sport technical expert commentator. So, Benny, you're going to be delving into the runs in detail this year and trying to just pick things apart, try and give our fans a little bit of insight into what's going on under the new system where we've got the 60-20-20. Big change for this year.
Big change for this year, and it's good to be in here just to give you a bit more of a technical side of it. I'm a driver, I'm an active driver as well, which is the main thing, which is great for our judges. Our 3 judges are all active drivers as well, so having understanding on that sort of side can obviously help people at home and listening in, that we can give them a little bit more.
Yeah, I guess from a casual fan point of view, what are the key things you would say you look for in each drift run? If you kind of simplify it right down, can you see kind of the speed and the flow, do you think, from each run? Is that? You
definitely can see the speed, seeing what the cars are doing. And in the case of the first run we just saw here, the mistake by Zalia causing the chase car not to be able to complete.
So here we go, underway with the second run of the morning. It is Cam. Oh, that's going to be double zeros, mate. That's double zeros because that's an incomplete lead. That's correct. Now, this is going to be a really interesting one. And what we do know is that the judges yesterday decisioned really, really fast. So Darren Kelly, Andrew Redwood, and Taylor James, they decisioned really fast yesterday. So Zalia Mir really only has to complete this, and I don't know how that plays out, because the first one, Cam wasn't really given a chaseable lead. So I think it's got to be double zeros, doesn't it? Because neither's been given the opportunity to chase either.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like Cam entering the section there just flicked in way too hard, and that's put him off on the inside.
So Zalia's got out of drift there too, so that would be so even if I didn't pick up the first time around, this is why the replay is fantastic, right? Because you call things sort of in the moment. But I think if I'm looking at, I think we will see double zeros. I think it'll have to go one more time. Yep, there we go. Yep, so it's exactly how we thought it was going to play out. Unfortunately, it is something that's always been debated, hasn't it, within the sport. If we want to get controversial early in the morning, whether the one more time is really the way you should go, and particularly in the development series, because it can happen a lot as drivers kind of find their way in the sport and they try and develop. Just simple mistakes happen, right? You've been there, done that. I mean, you were telling me a story the other day about, and then the front's broken on Cam's car. Look at that front wheel there. I don't know if we can get any closer there. We might be maxed out on zoom there, but that front wheel should not be on that angle, Benny. Is that an arm or something that's let go?
Looks like maybe the top strut tower spacer might have broken out of that front left of that car. Might have to take another look at the replay and see if he clipped that.
Ooh,
see if he clipped that ripple strip maybe and did some damage.
Right, so we're taking a look at side-by-sides. Now, if we're taking a look at side-by-sides, that makes me think that the judges want to see if they can decision off this run rather than going to zeros. So I think that'll be why they're taking another look at it. They are entitled to do that. So on that first run there, yeah, it was untidy and Zalia made a mistake, but then was it fully unchaseable from where Cam was? Is that maybe what they're thinking? Again, this is just hypothesising. Just our job here is to throw thoughts out there. Ultimately, there are the three wise men, Darren, Tay and Andrew, who will decision this. But I wonder if they are looking at that first run thinking, well, maybe there was enough separation there where it's not technically unchaseable because Cam was so far back and then he's made a mistake. So, yeah, there are the three wise men. That is Andrew Redwood, the aerodynamic one. Darren Kelly's got the hat backwards. Taylor's got the hat facing forwards, and that's Sammy, the new clerk, of course, steps into that role with the support of Nicky Bartlett, replacing Joe Maulder, who joins us on the broadcast crew this year. So a little bit of musical chairs here at D1NZ as people take on new challenges and spread their wings. And speaking of, Benny, what are you thinking, mate? I can see the thoughts going through the brain there. What would you, if you were the judge, what would you be doing? Would you be trying to make a call on this one, or would you send them one more time?
Sending them one more time. There was mistakes by both in the lead, both unchaseable. So sending them one more time is obviously the obvious thing. Unfortunately, it's a very untidy start to pro sport here. So hopefully these guys can get it back together. Cam get his car fixed quickly and make it back to the line for his rerun. As I see that dragging that thing onto the trailer.
Yeah, the next battle will be Brendan Fisher and Barry up against Tyler Knowles. Now, my apologies to Brendan yesterday. He did reach out to me last night and just point out that I did get it wrong. I was carried away by the license plate. His car does not have a Barra in it. It is a NALS motor, so a Chevrolet underneath the bonnet, and probably that's a long way. Sorry, I just get to, just in that shot there. That wheel looks like it's a long way back as well. Maybe all right. Is it ripped it clean out the top?
Possibly having a lot of positive camber like that. Normally when the strut connector or top of the strut actually breaks. So
can you repair that, or will it have bent structural metal in the top? Maybe it depends what the setup's like underneath the bonnet, right? Yeah. Taking another look at the GT radial replay. Now, I didn't even see where it happened. Did it go around and rotate to lock in and grab and it's broken?
The front left.
Oh, it's grabbed and then gone under. And then hit the edge of the track and dug in there. Is it? Gut feel says to me we're going one more time, but then I don't think they're going to be able to repair that car because there's no contact. So they're going to have 5 minutes from when that car gets back to the pits. They cannot lay hands on the car, but they can walk around it to get it. And I know I've seen your boys thrash and do this before, Benny. The Team Jenkins team can be pretty slick when they need to do a repair for an exercise. There is the one and only Launchmaster Willie, looking resplendent as always in his Launchmaster Willie official outfit. Willie effectively the gatekeeper to all D1NZ action out there on track. If you don't get past Launchmaster Willie, you can't take on the battles in your opponents for 25-26 as a series. So there is Brendan Fisher and his opponent Tyler Knowles, just waiting for the track to be declared open again, and we'll be underway.
Start light's been initiated. This is going to be a good one. Brendan Fisher knowing his way around Teretonga.
Your local man, isn't he? Well, Drift South competitor. That's a big separation. And I think Tyler Knowles is mechanical straight away. I don't think he's even initiated drift there because that's just rolled off the line there. So all that has to happen now is Brendan Fisher just needs to complete this run and he should have a big advantage heading into the changeover. Now, one of the things you did hear us reference in the opening to the show is that the higher qualifier does get to choose whether they lead or chase. Brendan Fisher, in this case, has chosen to lead. Benny Pro-SPORT, probably 99% of the time, I think they're going to choose to lead. I don't know that there'll be too many guys that'll be looking to chase straight away. The only one I can kind of think of might be maybe someone like Blake Miles, might want to put the pressure on you early if he wanted to take you out of competition.
With minimal practice on this layout, it's definitely smarter to go for the lead run first. You've dialed in your lead runs during your practice and your qualifying runs. They're quite close. Obviously, they were only yesterday afternoon, and then practice this morning. There was minimal battle practice. So I'd say most of the pro sports are going to choose to lead. Nice and tidy lead run there from Brendan Fisher. I think that will be counted as an inactive chase from Tyler Knowles, unfortunately. But Brendan Fisher hitting all his marks, filling his zones, just touched the dirt on outer zone 4 there.
Did Tyler even make the complete track, or did he kind of pull off somewhere? Where did he go?
Definitely still heard SR20 in my ears. I think he did complete the lap, but it was a long way
massive
behind.
separation. So yeah, advantage Brendan Fisher for opposite Lock Motorsport. LS underneath the bonnet of that S14. Ben, since you are with us in commentary, and one of the reasons you're here is technical expertise, why is the S chassis so popular as a platform? Is it just a known quantity, availability of parts? Is it just what Kiwis love?
Availability of parts is a massive thing for S chassis. You can literally build it off the shelf. There's not too much custom work that needs to be done apart from your safety fabrication and things like that.
So just taking a look at some of the good Invercargill lads on screen there. That's the boys getting set up nice and early there. The couch on the back of the ute, viewing at its finest here at Teretonga. Now Tyler Knowles has completed and he will roll off the line this time. Let's see if he's got over whatever gremlins he had the first time around. No, it doesn't look like it at all, does it? He's really labouring. Was it on 3 then?
I think he's missing a gear in his gearbox and he's skipping, I would say.
Yeah, so that makes that nearly impossible for Brendan Fisher to chase with any speed, right? Because he's just going to close up, and then Tyler Knowles is not actually able to keep the car in drift. So, yeah, really unfortunate here for Tyler Knowles, and in fact any of the drivers who have come all this way to compete in round number 1. To have a mechanical like that, but if Tyler's crew is tuned in, get on the horn to Benny and let him know if there is maybe a gearbox issue or something there that's caused that. So we'll see if you're right.
I'm putting my money on that man. He's missing a gear in his gearbox. You can see him labouring as he comes from first. I think he's missing possibly second.
Right.
And jumping straight into third and giving it a big kick, but it doesn't have, SR20s don't have that much torque.
Yeah, I was just going to say, how hard is that to do on a section like this, to go 1 to 3? Like, it's not even easy to do it in like a road car, right? Like,
with a short run up like we've got here, very, very hard.
Talk us through that. So, pro sport car, radial tyre, short run up. It really is quite a challenge for these guys?
Massive challenge, especially if you still have a synchro gearbox and no dog engagement. It have to be very hard on the gear.
Right, has come through race control that Brendan Fisher is going through. So Brendan Fisher goes through. And we await Tyler West and Matthew Brown, and Tyler West has chosen to lead, as has been pointed out. That would be expected here in the 235 class. Tyler West has got about 800 horses underneath the bonnet of the Fleet Tyres S14. He is he is a former MSC Development Series champion as well, so he holds an FD2 Japan licence. So Tyler Knowles looking a little bit more comfortable out there than perhaps some of the earlier drivers. He's just settled into his work nice and early. He's fresh back off a week of driving in Japan with Aaron Habib. They were over there for Matsuri, and Tyler showing the benefit of that. So I did speak to him yesterday on the way out of the pits, and it's fair to say he was not impressed with himself with his qualifying driving. And one of the things we know about Tyler is that angry Tyler drives much better than kind of just in the groove happy Tyler. There was a mistake there from Matthew Brown on the chase too, wasn't there? Just looking at the GT radial replays, a bit out of shot there, just the gap that was created. But I think Matthew Brown actually straightened out quite a bit there through zone number 2.
Little error from Matthew Brown at the start, which then messed the rest of the section up for him. Tyler putting on a pretty nice lead. The judges have asked us, and the track staff have asked us, to stay off the track edges. Yesterday we had some divots created.
Yeah, most spectacularly impacting probably on Jordan Richards, wasn't it? Where we had that big incident with him in terms of that car digging in, and probably quite lucky not to turn all the way over, tore the rear out of that car. And hopefully, do you know if Jordan Richards has actually managed to repair that car?
I believe so. I saw him in practice this morning out there with that S15, so hopefully he's already gripped out. But yeah, Tyler West here, great lead. Matthew Brown just making a mistake. I wonder if the judges be so harsh to call that an inactive chase?
Well, it is a big separation, and one of the things we do know from the video that was shown and published to the drivers is that this year the judges are encouraging proximity. They're okay with you cutting a corner or shortcutting a zone to try and get back up onto the lead car. They want to see close battles, and the directive is simply win it on the track, right? So in past we've kind of fallen into this odd kind of habit of maybe just stick to the line and try and almost drive qualifying past, but we're not doing that any longer. So see what Matthew Brown can do as he leads away there, but he's had all sorts of messy entry there, and that has impacted on Tyler's ability to chase there. As a driver, Ben, what do you do? What goes through your mind when that happens, when you're expecting one driver to do something and then all of a sudden the smoke sort of stops and the car's closing when you're at a rapid rate of knots?
It's very hard to make quick decisions on what you need to do to be able to avoid or get back into drift. As we see here, Tyler just getting a little bit lost in the smoke right at the end. Matthew Brown with a very untidy lead there for poor Tyler, having to try and chase that into the first zone.
Yeah, you see here it's 2 goes at the entry, isn't it? So there's usually a fairly substantial penalty for that, if not even deemed being past the zone and then reinitiating a drift. So we have seen him pass that zeroed out, right?
The judges were very heavy on that in the briefing this morning. We had to be in Scando and initiated by the cones. Look like Matthew Brown might have gone just past the cones there and having to reinitiate. So we could see a zero.
Yeah, in which case that would be advantage Tyler West, I think that'll actually set up a pretty decent battle potentially. Tyler West and Brendan Fisher. I think those two guys have a pair of relatively evenly matched cars here. Good morning if you're out there trackside. I can see a couple of young kids out there enjoying themselves, got their own deck chairs there, a couple of ladies in their Saturday finest enjoying some drifting action. Stephen McIvor will be the master of ceremonies conducting, and who gets the win, waiting for it to come up. This is like Idol, isn't it? The awkward pause. The judges still thinking. It is Tyler West going through. Tyler West gets the call. We're straight into battles. Isaac Aldridge leading away from Jordan Richards, the car we were just talking about, the Senate Nursing S15. That car's had heavy repairs to the back, but Isaac Aldridge, always one to watch when we get to battles. He is a man who just loves getting up on the door and just making a nuisance of himself. The BMW chassis, it's not as popular here in New Zealand, but when you get it working, it really does work.
Looked like Isaac just put on a stellar lead run there. We might be able to see a replay. Here we go. Both of them initiating together. It was a great initiation in the chase from Jordan Richards as well, jumping into that pocket early. And Isaac just seems...
off the track.
Yeah, off the track in zone 2. And Isaac drives away. Looks like that BMW is well set up. Jordan Richards playing the catch-up game here, trying to get back onto that door, as the judges are asking for. Isaac with a lovely flick into that last corner, staying mid-track, exactly what we were asked for. That was a great lead run from Isaac Aldridge.
And you saw the impact it had on Jordan in the chase position too, because he just had to throw everything and then kind of washed out wide there, as opposed to the midline where you guys have all been asked to be, right? So you've kind of lost that proximity and you've lost using the lead car as your mobile clipping point when you've washed out that wide. So yeah, there's the dirt drop there, so that'll be a penalty against Jordan Richards. And Isaac Aldridge, I think it's just tidy, isn't it? It's just... If you look at it from a qualifying perspective, it's sort of that mid to high 80s kind of run, very chaseable. Nothing over the top and spectacular, but exactly what you need to do in the 32, 16, 8 type battles before you turn it up that notch right in the finals when you're looking at probably the slightly more experienced opponents in your battles. Good morning out there, Invercargill crowd. Great to see you all out there trackside. I believe that we are broadcasting on the track FM radio frequency, so you can tune in and hear us, or you can watch us on the Oversteer TV live stream if you want to hear what Ben Jenkins and myself are up to for Pro Sport, and then Keisuke Nagashima, the 205 King, jumps in and joins me for Pro because Ben's got other commitments elsewhere. Ben's leaned straight into this one, watching what Jordan Richards does here in the lead position. Isaac Aldridge in the chase. We're expecting him to close up that proximity, and here comes Aldridge. Jordan Richards not doing too badly out front here, laying down a nice chaseable lead there. A bit of a waver in the chase position from Aldridge, but he's much closer than Richards. Well, now, was that a mistake there? Jordan shut down. Jordan shut down and incompleted the run. So, so Isaac Aldridge looking pretty strong here, but Jordan maybe he's had some sort of mechanical there and just hasn't been able to complete that run. And he's given the thumbs up, the mark of respect to Isaac Aldridge. And yeah, it's got to be frustrating as we take a look at the GT radio replay. Ben, what are we seeing here? A reasonably tidy run? It's very shallow through there, isn't it?
It was a nice start from Jordan Richards. Great Scando win. That's exactly what we want to see under power. No ripping the handbrake straight away. He just missed a bit on outer zone 2, but transitioned quite nicely through the fast point. It just looks like as he's leaving OZ4, he's had a mechanical gremlin in that car and had to shut it down. So unfortunately for Jordan Richards, that's going to be him completed for the day, and he'll be back tomorrow for round 2.
Yeah, and just seeing that car right on track is pretty phenomenal. If you didn't see the highlights of yesterday, then you want to check that one out on the Oversteer TV. Rob Neely leads away in that unique VQ-engined machine built by HPE, the brains behind that engine. Rob Neely takes on Ben Floyd for FBR out of West Auckland. Floyd Brothers Racing definitely bring a unique flavour and style to the pit area. Always got beautiful looking cars. Rob Neely's captain though, Benny, just gone.
That was a nice and tidy lead right up until the last transition there from Rob. I think he didn't hold out of zone 4 enough to make it a smooth transition into that final corner. Nonetheless, nice and tidy run. Actually quite an advantage sitting up here and watching this.
I said this to you yesterday, man. I'm sure I'm waiting for the official complaint. Ben has an advantage. This is a No, it is, but it isn't, right? As we all know, watching on TV doesn't give you the real feel for what the track's actually doing. So Ben's just not doing anything really other than what he would be doing in the pits, because he'd be watching the live stream anyway, to be fair. And it is Isaac Aldridge going through, gets the point of success from Stephen McIvor. Stephen McIvor, the man in charge down there in pit lane, along with Joe Maulder, bringing us all the pit action. And we'll get the team on the stream and on Sky TV with us for Pro this afternoon. Having a good time here at Teretonga. Young fans in attendance, dressed warmly and very stylishly too, Benny. Very stylish down this way.
Some amazing haircuts down here.
There are, I was going to say that. I mean, there is definitely a unique flavour to the Invercargill audience, and I do like this. I do love the fact you can arrive, park up, and just grab your favourite viewing spot. Unfortunately, you can't do that at Pukekohe, which is where we go next, Ben. Something I know you're looking forward to, and certainly a big highlight on our calendar. How good is it, right? Back to Pukekohe, one last drift. It's brought so much interest to the sport. There's some big things happening. I have been told this morning there are international names confirmed for Sunday. We can't reveal who they are yet, but there are some internationals, and I can see by the look on your face that you know who they are, and it's exciting news. So we're going to take a look now at Ben Floyd. Now Ben Floyd's gone now. Rob nearly a long way back.
Just a bit. Rob was caught napping on the line there. Ben Floyd's created the gap. Rob trying to play the catch-up game through here in the centre section. As you can see, he's getting right in there as he's on the line. He might be able to bring back some proximity. That's what we want to see.
Yeah, really straight though for Rob Neely, and then exceeds the track limits and puts all four, wasn't quite all four, but 3 is deemed as 4 off, and it'll be very close from a judging point of view. Is that enough to send Ben Floyd through? And I can tell you, the Floyd Brothers Racing fans, if they're tuned in, as we take a look at the replay, will be going nuts right now. Very popular team, lots of support, lots of fans out there, quite a big extended family team. Yeah, you're right, Nearly was caught napping, and then he's basically almost, under last year's rules, that would have been 0, right? Like, right. That was flatten out, but the judges have said this year, close up, try and come back into the battle, but Rob Neely then, I think, got too close, did he? Or was Ben Floyd flat, and that's what caught Rob out? Like, Rob's accelerated up to the back of him, expected Ben to be going faster and being caught out, because I can see that going through your mind at the moment.
I was just taking a look right at the end. The judges, I think, will be too, to see if there was a slowdown by that R32 in the front. There's an interesting lap there from the boys. There's obviously a lot more grip into Rob's car. Rob gaining that proximity through the fast section.
Yeah, this is one of those ones where you're grateful that you're not a judge, right? Because it's not a thankful job or one that people enjoy. This is Trent Elmbranch and Mitchell Daly. So we haven't seen Bradley Knight the next thing. It should have been next in the order. But it is Trent Elmbranch and Dylan Rastrick's Risk Takers S13. Now, something that I know excited you yesterday, Ben. I think you referenced Hero. Is it Hero Prince on the livery of that car?
Not on this one. Sheldon Neal's had a
Hero
Hero Prince. I don't know who's on this car, but Trent Elmbranch with a massive gap there.
Mitchell Daly turns it round. Incomplete for Mitchell Daly, the third of the Dalys to take on D1NZ. So we have Clayton in Pro, we have Aiden in Pro Sport, was on the podium last year at the Taupo round, and now we have Mitch making his way in competition. Now, still haven't had a decision come through either for Neely and Floyd, so maybe a bit of debate around that one, Ben. I wonder if you've hit on something there with that speed exiting out of zone 5, potentially. Your point of contention is something you and I have talked about. We're going to try and do a bit of a debrief after the round for everyone's benefit. So there's that replay again, just showing Mitchell Daly turning that car around, and that will be a incomplete film. What have you seen, mate? What did you see?
Trent seemed to miss the whole out of zone 4 there.
So you'd miss a zone, you'd be given a deduction for line, but it wouldn't harm you enough, would it, against an incomplete? So
yeah, I think it'll still be 10-0, but Trent just missing that out of zone 4, which setting him up into a slightly awkward line into that last turn, but Mitch Daly wasn't close enough for it to be caused by the lead car.
That's the driver in you, right? That's the driver in you going, if I saw that and I did that, I'd be thinking, well, I didn't quite get that right. That's what you were doing yesterday. It was something that we actually talked about that Fanger Dan does really well. He'll quite often come out and he'll deliver a run, and Dave Steedman does the same thing. He'll deliver a run and then they just make incremental improvements each time. They very much self-analyse and look at what they've done that wasn't quite to their liking that they want to improve on each run. So let's see what young Mitch can do in the lead position now. If you have just joined us, this is the 235 development series here at Teretonga in Invercargill. The higher qualifier. Now what's happened there, that's no initiation from Trent Elmbranch in the borrowed car. So now we wait and see if Mitchell Daly actually completes this run. We've already seen one more time battle due to 0-0, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here. What would be your understanding if you didn't initiate? Would that be a zeroed out chase, or would you still be given some points for that?
The judges this morning said that if you weren't initiated,
so there's the cone
by the red cone.
Yep, no initiation until halfway around the corner.
If you actually listen to that Trent Elmbranch in the S13, it sounded like he missed a gear, or that had popped out a gear. It was hitting a limiter past those cones. He would have had to grab a quick gear and get back into it. Mitch.
All right, Mitchell Daly gets the win. So right now in Tauranga, the RHP team will be going nuts. Mitch Daly gets a win. And I've got to think that, I wonder, I'm confused. I'd love to go to the judges and get some clarity, but I don't know that we can do that just at the moment. I don't know if we've got ears on, but Mitchell Daly gets the win, and that'll be making mum and dad proud, seating down there in the pits, and Tash will be back home with kids.
Something must have happened in Trent Elmbranch's lead that we didn't see.
Are they saying that Trent Elmbranch contributed to Mitch turning around? But I didn't think he was close enough.
Possibly. Something that we have missed, I believe.
Look, well,
congratulations to Mitch.
Yeah, let's note that one down for our review show, Ben. Okay, so Zemir, Zalia, Cameron Omlivray need to go one more time, but Cameron Omlivray called his 5 minutes and has 90 seconds remaining. So Young Azalea Mare potentially in line for a pedal with Blake Miles, which is certainly going to be a step up in competition in terms of taking on one of the real heavy hitters of the Pro Sport class. We've got Brendan Fisher's gone through already over Tyler Knowles. Tyler West got the call over Matthew Brown. Isaac Aldridge took out Jordan Richards. Haven't had a call yet on the Rob Neely Ben Floyd battle. We didn't see Bradley Knight and Vineet Singh. And then Mitchell Daly has got the win there over Trent Elmbranch. So that's one side of the tree almost locked in. You've got to think, from what you were seeing there, Ben, it's a pretty serious repair to Cam Omlivray's car. You thought maybe even structural kind of damage to the strut tail potentially. Could have pulled something out. Oh, look at that. Look at that. One of Invercargill's finest machines rolling up to just park up and take in some action. What is that? It's... is it a late 60? Is it a Ford?
Looks like a Chevrolet.
Chevrolet?
Saw some cool cars rolling in yesterday for the 15-minute cruise at the end of the day. There was a Falcon down there with an LS in it. There was a 1200 horsepower street car. I did see that. That was pretty cool. My apologies. I did say earlier maybe it was a Hero Prince livery on the Risk Takers car. It was an AWS Graphics livery on the Dylan Rastrick car. So good morning to Andrew and Ari, who I think are tuned in watching on the live stream. Thank you for just giving me a heads up that was out of your studios. We do appreciate information as it comes through to us when it is of use. So good morning Ari. I hope you're enjoying the drifting this morning. I reckon have we made it through? Yeah, so just getting confirmation there. What's Darren Kelly saying there, Benny? Trent failed to initiate by the entry cones. So that is correct. That is correct. They said that this morning. They were going to nail us, actually. I'm a driver. Yeah, you are. Yeah. Well, you're not at the moment. You're a commentator at the moment. You'll be a driver once we jump to the pro class. And I've got to take all this on board, though. It's all going to be taken on board. Yeah. Now, that's Josh LaRosa, I'm pretty sure. Now this, okay, so this is what you were talking about earlier, Benny. So Rhodey Knowles had loaned his car to Ryan Parry, but Ryan Parry, it looks like maybe has elected to step out of battles and let Rhodey focus on his pro battles this afternoon. So it'll be interesting to see how Rhodey deals with that number 4 qualifier spot. He's looking good. So Rhodey obviously looking for a result, and Ryan Parry potentially not wanting to impact it. So just giving Josh LaRosa a bypass here. So Josh will go through to the top 16. Okay, so what was the clarity there on the battle, Ben, from head judge Kelly? So the lead car on the first run, the battle was over because it was a 0. Trent failed to initiate, so it is a 0. Right. And the battle is over. Right. That is the ruling. Okay. Okay. So what we're actually talking about there is Trent failed to initiate on his lead run. So the battle is over. Right. Okay. So that's great clarity. That's in the rules. And then on the second pass, Mitch Daly, all he needed to do was not 0, grab a point, grab 10 points, and he was through. I love it. I like the fact that the judges have been very defined in what they want, very clear, and this is exactly what Darren Kelly, Taylor James, and Andrew Redwood have declared they're going to bring. And some big news going through here into the top 16. Azalea Mare. So Azalea Mare goes through. Cameron Omlivray has not made his 5 minutes, and Z goes through. So just mind either name. She's okay with us calling her Z or Azalea, however we want to refer to her. She's got some big dreams, some big goals here for her D1NZ Pro-SPORT career, and some aspirations. I believe brother and sister want to go drifting internationally. So yeah, Nick cool. Mayer, father Nick Mayer, yes. Is so passionate, working on those cars. What was the expression used the other day? You see Nick running around their hometown like a madman. Yeah. He's got 2 cars, he's got stuff on the go, and he's just making the dream happen for both kids. So shout out to Nick. Not just running around his hometown, he's running around Auckland, up to JT Performance, getting the cars tuned, getting everything done, popping into my office, picking up radiators and all. No, I like this for Azalea. I like the fact that she is going to take a run here. So she's going to take a run, get another look under competition circumstance at what the zone looks like, because
the battle against Blake's going to be tough, right? The number 1 qualifier is her next opponent. So the goal for her, I think, here will just be to put together a nice, tidy run, find perhaps that little couple of % again of improvement. That's all you can do each run. Go out there, throw it down, have a good look at the track conditions.
One thing we also need to touch on here for Zali Mayer for her first competition of the year in that big car down here at Teretonga. That is a big car to be putting on the track edges, you know, like we're on a skinny track down here, and other than any of our tracks in Auckland. You talked about this extensively yesterday, a skinny track here at Teretonga. Now put our viewers in picture there what we're talking about when you say the track is skinny. It's probably 1 or 2 metres thinner in width than say Hampton Downs or Taupo, so you've got to be pinpoint with your switches to not end up in the grass. That's one of the biggest challenges down here.
Right, so yeah, so when the cars are actually sideways, there's not a lot of room either side.
There's not a lot of room at all. That's why we're pushing the track limits. Here we go, Tiger White, Jamie Carr.
Yeah, Tiger White making a comeback to competition drifting after last driving, I think it was about 2007, maybe 2009. He's been spannering the VIP Boys Pro program, and this is his new build, sticking with the S13 platform. But he knows so well VIP, of course, on the side for Tiger White, who, yeah, way back in the day, stood on the top step of the podium at a Taupo round of D1NZ, and his opponent Jamie Carr. They're a great looking S13s, which my co-host has a definite soft spot for in terms of his favoured platforms over the years. Apparently they look better in bright orange, but it's just a matter of opinion, eh, Ben?
It was a nice and tidy entry there from Tiger White. He just didn't get deep enough into clipping point 2, outer zone 2, but he did a great job there at outer zone 4, extending that section, then setting himself up for the end. Jamie Carr just a little bit wide and off the back bumper of Tiger White. Unfortunate on that last part, but other than outer zone 2, it was a tidy lead there from Tiger. It was a little bit of a shimmy from Jamie Carr on the run up there. I think he thought Tiger was going to come across the track a bit harder.
Right, so just completing the the left-hand side of the tree, Ben. So we've had some results come in that we didn't pick up over race control. So in the top 16, it is Blake Miles versus Zali Mayer. It is Brendan Fisher versus Tyler West. Isaac Aldridge battles Ben Floyd. So Ben Floyd did go through, and then Bradley Knight goes through over Vineet Singh, and he battles Mitchell Daly. So good to see that side of the tree locked in as we go into the top 16. And on the other side of the tree, we will be, we should have been looking at, I would have thought, Sam Rouse and Weston Floyd. So maybe a call there from Weston Floyd and his team that they're not able to front for a battle, or possibly a 5-minute call there. Wait and have that one confirmed over the race control channel. Thank you to the eagle-eyed spotters who love their American cars, who pointed out that that was, of course, a Chev Impala that we saw on screen before here as part of our viewing audience. Not even in the Smick hard park. We've got a hard park here, but hey, if it's your daily driving, it's just your car you love, then why not sit in it for the day for viewing pleasure here at Teretonga. Very late initiation from Jamie Carr. Like, just drove almost halfway around that corner there.
Don't really know what happened there. Tiger fired it up pretty fast, but he was a long way back. Jamie Carr maybe just miscalculated that run up. Nice and tight lap though after that, but it just depends if he was initiated by those cones. We'll have to take a close look at this replay to see if he was initiated.
Yeah, and the reason we're picking up on that is we have seen a couple of calls already, most notably the Trent Elmbranch Mitchell Daly call. So where is the cone, Ben? There's the cone.
There's the blue cones.
Yeah, so there's no initiation there.
That is a late initiation.
Yeah,
that is a
late at best. Late at best. Yeah. Reminds me of when Hurt Jr. was here. Not the prettiest. It's not the prettiest. And we see a bit of not the prettiest as we watch development series driving, because again, these guys and girls are just finding their way in the sport. A lot of them haven't done a lot of competition battles. So Sam Rowson, just been advised, Sam Rowson goes through to the top 16. Weston Floyd has advised out, so he does still have the opportunity to come back and drive tomorrow. So the way that round 2 works is that your result from round number 1 carries over into round number 2. And We're about to get a result, and it is Tiger White's going through. Tiger White.
I believe that will be, if we get some clarification from the boys,
Yeah.
they will.
The no initiation thing again?
They're hard on it. They told us about it this morning. They told us about it on Thursday night. They are hard on it.
Yeah.
Be initiated or it's a 0.
Yeah.
And that's
So,
great.
yeah.
That's what we need. We need that from these boys. We don't need any leeway.
Well, look, we're a national championship series, all right? So we are a recognised national championship series now. So yeah, there are hard and fast rules that need to be stuck to. There are some other things that maybe just, yeah, sometimes there is a little bit of interpretation to them, but yeah. I ultimately win it on the track. That's what the judges said. So ultimately win it on the track, as Benny just seeks to clarify with head judge Kelly what the call is. We can. Do you know what we should just do? Maybe. I do enjoy the sound of limiter, so I think we might just listen to Sam Rowson do this by run. Why not?
Good look in the rail, this Sam Rowson. He's a hell of a peddler. Nice from Sam, nice and wide initiation there, hard on the loud pedal, grabbing both those clips very nicely, switching up into the fastest zone of the section. He's grabbed that zone even better, out of zone 4, tart shallow, and he stayed in the zone. That's going to set him up perfectly for the last corner. Definitely a lot of limiter out of Sam Rowson's car. That thing's got a lot of grunt, on a little 235 tyre. It's not going anywhere.
It was interesting. Yeah, it was interesting talking to Sam as we just watched the GT Radio replay. He did say that in past he'd had a lot of angle focus with that car. Big car, liked to put it sideways, kind of had that. It's an old school mentality, isn't it? Crank it sideways, right to full lock, but it is very lethargic and lazy as it switches. He's now realised what it's going to take to be competitive, and he kind of did say, look, the likes of Blake, etc., with those S15s are so fast and they're so proven in their setup that he needed to find more forward momentum. So he's had to take a little bit of angle out in the quest for a bit more grip and forward momentum. And I think, yeah, definitely one to watch. I think you picked him, didn't you, as potentially a strong championship contender for 25-26.
He's a great peddler. Watched him quite closely last year with the rounds that I did go to at home on the couch. So yeah, I think Sammy's going to go.
Yeah, you literally have moved from being a couch critic to me and Kenny to being in the box. Now you're here. Shout out to Kenny, by the way, out there from Oversteer TV. Kenny managing things remotely this weekend. Hope you and the family are well, mate. And we do miss you here at Invercargill. Would have been great to have you here, but Benny's doing a pretty good job so far, covering you off for Pro Sport. And Keisuke Nagashima, the 205 King, will be here for Pro later today. Up next, we should see Riley McHugh and Daniel Smith, but I'm not sure if Daniel Smith is going to face the starter or not. We've still got Liam Higgins, Johnny Burns to go. Pretty cool story out of the Johnny Burns camp. Might see if Joe can bring us some news from there later on from the pits. Johnny Atwood and Jeremy White, and then Aidan Daly and Cody Lynham, but I don't think Cody Lynham is going to face the starter either, because I think he was sharing Dan Smith's car. Okay, so McEwen and Smith are ready to go. So Digger Dan will face the start there.
Danny Boy with that 1J 180SX. He loves a burnout, that fella.
He does, but is he going to have the speed to hang with Riley? Like, that car was pretty hooked up, and it just looked pretty fluid yesterday in qualifying. That's how I would describe his runs. For a 16-year-old, he's certainly got plenty of confidence. We know that he's been doing a bit of speedway racing as well, picked up a checkered flag or two behind the wheel of his mini stock, and he's also competing in MSC, getting as many drift laps as possible underneath his belt. So see what young Riley can do here, leading away over Daniel Smith. Now, if you have just joined us on the broadcast, of course, new for 25-26, in line with a majority of international series, the higher qualifier can now choose to lead or chase. They have 60 seconds from exiting the burnout box with which to choose that. I have no doubt at some point, Ben, we're going to see some games played as to who goes where. But here we go. Riley McEwen initiates into the zone. Nice and fast. Digger Dan didn't really get on the gas early there, and then has fallen a long way back. He needs to kind of try and shortcut now close up the gap, but I just don't think he's going to reel in that very rapid FCRX7 of Riley McEwen there. Riley McEwen going side to side just nicely, like the judges asked for, sort of sits on that midline there. Digger Dan digs a little trench around the inside of that corner there, and to me that reads advantage young Riley McEwen. Take a look at the GT radial replay and see if there's anything here, Ben, you can pick up from a technical point of view.
I like the entry from Riley McEwen. There's a lot of commitment there well before the cones. Grabs that clip 1 into outer zone 2, and as he switches up the hill into outer zone 3, grabs that as well. Just a touch shallow on the start of outer zone 4. It looked like he had to grab a little bit of handbrake to get deeper into that zone. And then set himself up quite nicely for mid-track finishing. Digger Dan's had a bit of a terror behind. Looks like he's trying to tame that car.
So from a technical point of view, how does Riley improve that run? Next time he comes out, when he's looking at potentially a battle in the top 8 or 16, how does he improve that run?
Looks like he could have gone into outer zone 4 just a touch earlier. Now that's just nitpicking this. It was a great lead run, but getting into outer zone 4 just a touch earlier and staying in the zone, it's just coming from what I've needed to do over the last couple of days as well. And you stay in that zone a little bit further past the end of the zone, it creates and sets you up a nice switch across the track to be on full power for that final corner. Now we might see later on in some pro stuff, that section of the track could be where battles are won and lost.
Is it going to be it'll be Ross on the cans to win? His dad Ross will be on the cans to Riley. They'll be on full comms. So it is one of the things we know that a lot of the teams do run like a comms type setup in the helmet, which helps drivers to kind of know, look, advantage here, or you need to tidy up there. Probably not quite. It wouldn't be throughout the whole pro sport field, but certainly most of the pros run comms of some sort. We know there's a couple of other drivers who are a bit analog. Finger Dan doesn't really roll that way. He might get a text with a thumbs up or a thumbs down on his Nokia 5110 and maybe interrupt his game of Snake or whatever. That's not really how he rolls, but yeah, there's definitely a few drivers who like to have the full comms in the headset. Digger Dan out front now, laying down not too bad here in terms of giving Riley McEwen something to aim for. We need to use the lead car as a mobile cooking point, emulate what they're doing. Development series, so we don't necessarily expect to see them do bumper to bumper. We certainly will once we get to the top 4, etc. But Digger Dan looked like he just had that same problem. He just shortcutted across that inner side of out of 5.
Unfortunately, Digger Dan very shallow in those zones. The judges won't want to see that as a lead run. Riley McEwen just putting on what he needed to do really in the chase. Obviously here, Dan very close to a no initiation again. Initiates right on those cones. We're not giving himself any room for error. He gets out of outer zone 3 quite nicely, but just shallow into this section here. As you're shallow in this section here, mid-track, shutting the chase car out, Riley in the smoke, and Dan not transitioning into the final corner very well at all. So unfortunately, I'm going to pick that's going to be McEwen through.
I'm willing to make a bet right now that we're going to have at least one call in pro that's going to come down to that initiation thing again, where somebody will get it not quite right, will be a little bit late, and it'll be a result that we don't expect to see as we there are the 3 wise men. Thank you to Ting Tools, by the way, our podium sponsor, for supporting the podium with that $8,900 full. It's a full toolkit.
Is it full this year? Went
and filmed a little bit of a commercial there at Ting Tools. Had a look at the whole thing. I temporarily turned into a hand model. So we'll wait for the cars to pull up here and make a call as Stephen does his finest dance moves on screen. And going through and getting the call is Riley McEwen. Now that rear tyre's flat. Now that's happened after. Now what happens here, Ben? Is there a rule around that? If it's completed the battle, does it have to stay inflated to come back around?
Depends what's happened.
Can that? Yeah. Is this? I don't know. I mean, we're just speculating.
The judges don't look very phased at all. But is that?
Well, I don't think that's a judge's thing. I think that's probably like a clerk of course technical rule where if you had to spot check the car to see if the pressure was legal, then you wouldn't be able to do so, right? Because it would read flat.
I think because it was the end of run 2 as well. It'd be a different story if it was in run 1. So let's just have a look. This is a side-by-side
Yeah, so
here.
that's happened.
How this tyre has come off McEwen's car, maybe touching the strip at the end.
You can complete a section, can't you, as long as you complete the section under power.
Correct.
So that's the McEwen lead run. We're just looking at a side-by-side. That's the McEwen chase run. So
It's coming a little bit
No, it's
wide
off
in
there.
this section. Is
I
it
think
off?
it's off there because there's no smoke on that side of the car.
Interesting.
It's flat there.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's flat
definitely
there.
flat there.
Yeah. You're going to have to talk to your mate in a minute. You're going to have to talk to Mr. Kelly and see how they call this one, because Digger Dan's definitely had those two deductions that we've both kind of noted where he's gone off the inside. But then McEwen, he has remained in drift. But yeah, it's more of a technical thing than an actual judge. Yeah, see, it's actually gone before 3, I think. Before out of 3. There's nothing at all there. There's no smoke there from the outside of the car at all.
So it has debedded during the section, but I think because it was the second run, it's not going to matter. If it was the first run.
Review show, Ben. Review show. We'll make some notes and see how we go.
Put that into the notes.
Okay, so Johnny Atwood, we've been advised, is doing a bye run. So John Atwood doing a bye run. He goes into the 16. Jeremy White has pulled out. And I did just see Liam Higgins on the track, and he must be waiting for Johnny Burns. So John Atwood goes through. And yeah, just a confirmation that Johnny Burns has called his 5. And Liam Higgins is waiting for him, and then we'll just wait to see if Adam Daly will come to a bye. I don't think Cody Lynham is driving. Now that there, Benny, is an example of the rolling burnout type entry that the judges I don't think wanted, but it looks cool.
I know this thing has a lot of power, so John Atwood just showing us that off the line. It's probably in top cog.
That's a barra, isn't it?
That is a
barra
barra
underneath them. This is, you would have heard us say yesterday that this is Whangarei. Any Friday night of any week, anywhere, just there's something in the water up there. How good is it to see these cars now carrying that infamous brand on them as well, the Drift Corp?
Yeah.
The stickers are back and wreaking havoc in Pro Sport. Drift Corp, of course, gave us our first and second D1NZ champions. Before then, Westside Rotor with a third. So yeah, JT Justin, then Adam Richards before Gaz Wider, and then Carl Reutemann, I think is the order and the way that it goes. I'm sure someone will train spot and point out that I'm probably out by a year somewhere, but hey, at my age you can't remember everything. Johnny Atwood is a machinery operator by trade, so he'll be out there just spotting for places to excavate, getting a little wide there.
He drives that the rail pretty impressively, old Johnny Atwood. I've watched him at Taupo a couple of times.
Well, we know that that car is capable too, because Ethan Faithful put it on the podium at Pro Round 5 last year against Luke Fink. So the car's more than capable of delivering the results. It's just a case of what do you call the steering wheel attendant. All right, we're going to go to our first live cross with our new pit correspondent, Joe Maulder. Good morning, Joe.
I'm down here with Johnny Burns. I've heard from the team that they've had to replace a coil, so he's taken his 5 minutes, but they've had it sorted and he's about to head out.
All right, thank you, Joe. And something pretty cool that Johnny told us. He sent me a message and said, mate, I just want to let you know something. I got engaged on the way down to round number 1 of D1NZ. So how cool is that for a story? So Johnny Burns, congratulations, mate, to you and your fiance. Now engaged and celebrating with a lap or 2 here at Teretonga. So congratulations to Johnny Burns and his fiance, and thank you for letting us be a small part of that here at D1NZ. Good to see the crowd building steadily. So everyone finding their favoured spots here at Teretonga. The judges have had to do some work today, haven't they, Benny?
They
The judges
definitely
are just having to. You're getting a bit of feedback as we kind of go along the way. We'll be talking to Darren, Andrew, and Tay this afternoon. We don't traditionally do that during the Pro Sport broadcast, but certainly for Pro this afternoon, when we get to those battles that are just that little bit tighter maybe and need a technical explanation, we will have an ability to communicate with our judges.
Yeah, so just getting some clarification and learnings from Darren,
Yeah.
which is good of the Riley McEwen and,
so was I.
Daniel Smith.
So what did you get?
Daniel failed to initiate.
Right. And then I got a clarification on the technical rule, is that Riley remained in drift and they can check the other side pressure because the DB did not affect his run. So
cool.
That is the technical way that plays out. So it's always good to ask a question because sometimes you learn these things on the fly. Hopefully you're learning something as we do as well. You'll tuck that one away for some point in time, Benny.
That's it, yeah.
What do you run tyre pressure wise? Are you all over the place, or you're not going to tell me? Is that a trade secret?
I will tell you, we've had some very interesting testing of that car. We've got the Big Country Labs wing on the back of it.
Right.
And yesterday it was an Arrow. I had to drive it. There was only one way I could drive it, and it had every bit of power we could throw at it. And our tyre pressures, believe it or not, in qualifying last night, we were running the Tri-SR1 at 50 pound last night.
I heard that from a few people, 50 PSI. So for context against the casual road user, you guys is somewhere between 35 probably to 38 PSI generally in your road tyre. So you guys are 10 pound above that just to be able to break traction. Is that right?
That's correct. The tyre technology is so good these days. These Trias tyres, the good road tyres, things like that we're using in these Pro, the tyre technology is amazing. So we need to make big adjustments to be able to get into the tyre pressure window.
Alrighty, Liam Higgins leads away over Johnny Burns. Liam Higgins for road, rubber, tyre and auto. And how good is it to see these big cars back on track? Johnny Burns getting a little excited there, but then, then Liam Higgins has come out of drift here. So now, Johnny Burns in the chase position does not have to complete his run. So the rules are that if you are in the lead and the chase car spins, you must complete your run. But if you are the chase car and the lead car comes out of drift, you do not need to complete a run. So unfortunate there for Higgins when we did see a wheel off from Johnny Burns. You'll see here both cars initiate away. Compared to some of the other ones we've seen, the proximity is reasonable there. Johnny Burns goes wide there. There'll be a deduction there for flirting with the edge of the track, but then out of drift, and there's a shutdown, and no reason there for Johnny Burns to need to continue any further. But we don't know if he's got comms, to be fair. May do, may not. Probably just excited about getting back out of there after having to do a 5-minute mechanical. So advantage Burns.
That's right. I think Burns was using that, albeit it's a zeroed out run from Liam Higgins. He was using that as a little bit of a test.
Yeah,
make
good.
sure his car was still running quite well.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good point that you make, Ben. Obviously, if you have called 5 minutes, then you do probably want to just do a quick test check. So probably not a bad idea to go and do a 3/4-ish run and then just get out of it to save yourself some time. Are these Pro Sport cars likely to be using up the tyre by the end of the second run, or are they not quite at that level where they'd be running out of tyre?
I don't think so. I don't think the Pro Sport cars will be out of tyre in the second run. They're probably getting 3 to 4 laps, I'd say, to appear. A bit different to us in the Pro class, but we are literally on nothing as we come out after the second run.
We saw a couple of guys flirt with that yesterday, where we sort of saw towards the end of the end of the second qualifying pass, there just wasn't a lot of tyre left there, and there wasn't that improvement. So it was almost like some of the drivers played a game where maybe they went out and did that safer run first and kept it for the second run to get a good read on the conditions, with the way that the qualifying format works with the consecutive back-to-back passes in batches of 4 cars. So it's each to their own. Every driver prefers something slightly different. Do you like the consecutive versus the separated runs like they used to have?
Love the consecutive because you're already in the moment. You're already revved up for the first run. So here we go. Johnny Burns initiating. Liam Higgins having some issues in the chase.
Oh, it's getting wishy, it's getting washy, and Johnny Burns, he's just got to hold this together now, and so Liam Higgins has shut it down, so Burns just needs to complete this now, but it looks like he's actually going to lay down one of his better laps for the weekend. So Johnny Burns, 3-wheeling, styling and profiling out through outer zone number 5, and he's got the hand out the window, and he is excited. I love that. That is one of my favourite things about drifting, is you just know when a driver has had a run, because the hand comes out the window and the little love tap on the roof is just something that brings a little tear to the corner of the eye, Benny. Gives me a smile.
This is a great lead run by Johnny, and this is where comms would come in handy as well. So if he has comms there with his team can be telling him the chase car has zeroed out, so you can mellow out your run, but Looks like Johnny Burns is just putting on a heater here.
Yeah,
Freewheeling into that last corner, flirting with the track edge.
He threw the angle, but he didn't. Like what we saw a lot of guys do yesterday was handbrake to try and extend it out, but it didn't look like he did that. He just stayed in it, let it flow to the point he wanted it at, and then jumped back on it, and you saw it dig in and bite and lift the front up. And Johnny Burns gets the win and goes through. So he's going to need to go that quick because he's up against Riley McEwen next, and we saw how fast Riley was before. So we'll wait for them to come around, and Stephen will give Johnny the good news. Liam's obviously mechanically impaired at the moment. Look at him. Look at how happy he is. Johnny Burns is pumped. Congratulations, mate. Congratulations.
It's always good to get the first battle of the year, first win of the year under your belt.
How does it help set you up for the season?
This round is going to be very important, yeah.
Alrighty, so we're going to get our first look at the #1 qualifier, Blake Miles, for laid out. And in the chase position will be Zalia Mir, the young 18-year-old from the Tauranga region. And straight away, Blake Miles just down into his work. Almost a carbon copy of what we saw yesterday from him in qualifying. Maybe not quite out as far as maybe he was yesterday through that hour 3, but it's just, Zalia's got to be wondering where he's gone. Like, he is gone.
That right there from Blake Miles is a lead run.
That's
a track finish.
Can I throw it there? That's a pro run. That is a pro run. Like, that did not look out of place. Watching you guys yesterday, what you did, with no disrespect intended to the pro class, if you put Blake Miles running there side by side with what we saw, I don't think you'd see too many differences.
That was an amazing run from Blake Miles, grabbing both those clips, 1 and 2, out into outer zone 3. Amazing. Just a little bit off the track edge, but that's within the 1 to 1.5 meters from the track edge the judges have asked for, and it set him up. He stayed in that outer zone for long enough to set him up perfectly for that final corner. Blake Miles, take your hat off. That was an amazing lead run.
Yeah, Blake Miles, one of 2 drivers last year in Pro Sport who finished inside the top 10 each and every round, which is certainly the type of campaign you need to put together to try and win yourself a pro title. And Blake Miles, one of the drivers who actually elected to stay in Pro Sport for this year, wanting to grab a potential championship win first. So take a look at an aerial view here of Teretonga and Invercargill. We are right down at the bottom of the South Island of New Zealand, if you are wondering globally where we are in the world. So we are right at the bottom of the South Island of New Zealand, the southernmost racetrack, we believe, certainly in New Zealand, if not in the world. And we are enjoying round #1 here of the D1NZ National Drifting Championship. Myself, Warren Sare, on comms with Ben Jenkins and our pit presenters Stephen McIvor and Joe Maulder. And then once we move to Pro, Ben will go and do some driving, and Keisuke Nagashima will join the broadcast for the afternoon's proceedings as we go live on Sky TV, KO and Pacific Direct. Zalia Mir now, it'll be interesting to see how she approaches this one. She didn't this year. She's out nice and wide. I think Blake Miles will give her some room here. I think that's the smart way for him to play this. Zalia's had that same sort of challenge each time she's gone to that second switch, then she's flirted with the outside of the track. She is definitely getting faster each pass. You can see that confidence building from her, and each time she hangs together a complete run, it is a good thing for young Zalia, and I think she'll be proud of herself for her round #1 campaign. But not too much wrong there with Blake Miles' work in the chase position, and you'd be hard pressed, I think, to argue that he won't go through into the 8, but we'll wait for the official confirmation. He's just sort of sat back, isn't he? You can just tell by the velocity and how much tyre smoke there is. He's just sat back there. It'll be sort of at 75-80% throttle maybe.
That's right, yeah, just trying to play that game, not having an inactive chase. That's the main thing. After a stellar lead run like that, all he needed to do is exactly what he has done. But you can't take that away from Zalia Mir. Other than that dirt drop, that was a nice and tidy lead from her.
I reckon she'll be smiling though. I think she'll be smiling, and I think as they make their way back around the track, taking a look at the GT Radio replay, Stephen McIvor is going to have a quick word with both, probably after we announce the results. And getting the win going through is Blake Miles and Stephen McIvor.
I tell you what, Blake, that was a nice way to start the campaign, and you battled after the top qualifier. Very nice lead, mate.
Cheers, thank you. We're feeling pretty confident out there. Such a fun track, but super fast, so we're having a good time here.
Up against Z, not a bad lead, huh?
Nah, she's pretty good. She's actually pretty fast out there. Got a bit of a gap on me, so she's driving really well. Good on her.
Good luck in the 8.
Cheers, thank you.
Look, we're going to talk to Z because, you know, you get quite pulled up against the first. And just quickly, mate, congratulations. Were you a little nervous coming up to the top qualifier?
Yes, definitely. Blake's a really good driver, so it was something different.
What's it like being here, the girl amongst these boys and going, come on, I'm going to get you?
Yeah, it's pretty scary, but yeah, it's good to get out there and do it for the girls.
You loving this?
Yeah, love it.
We love seeing you here. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, see ya.
Let's go.
Thank you, Mr. McIvor, bringing us Z and Blake down there from pit lane, and both of them, I think, showing each other a nice bit of respect. They're great to hear Blake identifying in Z's run the speed that she was able to generate here as we switch to the next battle between Brendan Fisher and Tyler West. Brendan Fisher looks like he's found maybe a little bit more speed, Ben, and Tyler West with 800 odd horsepower. I expected him to be up in the pocket, but Brendan Fisher with that LSNA underneath the bonnet is gone. He's right out, oh, he's gone way wide there, and that's throwing him off, and then we've gone wide to wide, and that will be deductions from our judges there now. Tyler West wasn't really able to grab the proximity, but from a line perspective, any track edges deemed very important here.
That's right, yeah, we saw Brendan touching both track edges there at outer zone 4 and the last clip. Nice initiation from Brendan. Tyler caught a touch off guard, but maybe a bit of pace out of the starting box, so Brendan just creating that gap. Now Tyler needs to be really careful here, which he was. You don't get stuck in the smoke trail, because that's one of the biggest things down here in Teretonga as a chase car, is the smoke trail. You can be blind for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I think someone needs to go and punch Tyler West in the arm or something, just make him a little bit more angry. I want to see angry Tyler drive.
Yeah, well, hopefully he can turn this around and have a good lead there. Tyler might have some crew in his ears telling him there could be an advantage or an even on his way with the dirt drops Brendan Fisher did in the lead.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Tyler approaches this one, right? Because I think he does have comms. He will have probably David Hunter, I think, spotting for him.
Okay, so Tyler here needs to put on a killer lead, hit all his marks, and let Brendan do what he needs to do in the chase.
Replay again. Thank you, GT Radio, our official replay sponsor again for the 25-26 season of D1NZ. Tyler West, as we identified, was quite a long way back, and he kind of did take that shallow line to try and close up, but it was at the same time as you and I were watching Brendan Fisher flirt with those track edges there, Ben. So one wheel off is a minor deduction, isn't it?
A minor deduction.
Yes, so minor. Does minor equal major? Is that how it works? Usually, if you go, well, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you do 2 in one run, is it a significant deduction, or is this is why you and I are in the commentary box and we're not the 3 wise men up there, Darren, Andrew, and Tay.
Tyler in the lead here. Let's see what he can do. He needs to hit his marks, improve on what Brendan Fisher did.
No. Was that a late initiation from Brendan?
From Brendan, for sure, there could have been late initiation. Tyler was initiated quite nice, but he's a little bit shallow on these spots. He just needs to keep it on the track in these zones, though, and better what Fisher was in the lead. Fisher doing a nice chase, being in there in the pocket.
I think Brendan Fisher knew that he made some mistakes, and he knew that he had to take the fight to Tyler West, and that's certainly one of the better chases we've seen in pro sport so far. So good to see Brendan Fisher finding that speed, getting that opposite lock motorsport car locked in there. So that was what I was looking there, and I think you were watching Tyler West to see whether he'd initiated before the cones. I thought maybe Brendan was a little bit late, but I think the rule you must initiate no later than the lead car. Is that right?
No later than the lead car.
Yeah, so I guess that, I don't know, it'd be interesting to see. Okay. Oh, all judges call in favour of Tyler West. So Tyler goes through, and we're going to see Tyler West against Blake Miles. So that will be a good battle. Those guys have gone head-to-head before. A couple of very well-prepared S-chassis, both with decent power, and that'll be an interesting one to sort that one out. And hopefully we see angry Tyler come out for the next run, because he's going to need it for Blake. He cannot, like, honestly, he can't sit back like he did in that run. Blake will be gone.
That's right, yeah. He's tidy up his clips, get a little bit deeper into his zones.
I think, is Darren talking to you? So Darren Kelly, I know, sending you a fair bit of information there, mate, just via... And go down to Stephen. He is going to go chat with Tyler West.
Well done, mate, but you're up against the top qualifier on the 8. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's good. It's great to be here. You know, the Fleet Tyres S14 is going flawlessly all day, and double duties and pro, so yeah, we're stoked.
Better day than wet dry yesterday?
Oh, nothing worse than patchy conditions, but we're loving it.
Go get it.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you, Stephen, doing a great job down there at pit side, chatting to Tyler West, gets the win there and locks in, as mentioned, against Blake Miles. We move now to Isaac Aldridge and Ben Floyd, so shout out to the Floyd Brothers racing fans out there, no doubt on the live stream, supporting their favourite drivers, and both the Floyd brothers, Ben and Weston. Weston unfortunately didn't make his battle and was eliminated, so it is up to Ben now to fly the flag for FBR, and he's not completely out of range here, Ben, but not carrying a lot of angle either in the chase position. Isaac Aldridge, in the meantime, has done exactly what we said he was going to do yesterday. The man is a battle specialist, and he just comes to life as soon as there's another car in the shot with him.
Nice and consistent from Isaac Aldridge. It could have been a touch deeper in one or two of the centre zones, but hey, it was a great lead. It was chaseable. He was entered by the time, big emphasis. He was entered by the time he needed to be. A little bit shallow coming through there. Didn't really grab the first clip, but it set him up to outer zone 2 quite nicely. Touch shallow at the top of the hill there, outer zone 3. And as he initiated through the last corner, I believe man Floyd in the R32 just got stuck in the smoke, maybe a touch at the end of that run.
Bit lost in the Smick Mick exit, so we're thinking of Smick Mick sponsoring the exit and the hard park here today at Invercargill. So thank you to all of our brand partners, of course the GT Radio replay you've seen on your screen plenty of times. Link ECU responsible for our start zone. Thank you to Logitech bringing us something pretty cool in the Sim Drift series. Team Tools responsible for the Pro Podium, $8,900 in tool prizes, and Mimico, as always, big supporters of drifting over many years, bringing us VIP experience here at Teretonga and Invercargill. So definitely flirting with the outside of the track there was Ben Floyd. So just try and bring us all up to speed here as to where we are on the battle tree. So we are locked into the 8 there and moving through things relatively rapidly, although we have got a fair bit to get through here at Teretonga. The pros up this afternoon. You'll need to have a subscription to Oversteer TV to watch the pros, along with Sky TV, KO and Pacific Direct, bringing us all the action this afternoon. Switch over now and watch Ben Floyd leading the way, and Isaac Aldridge in the chase position. Ben Floyd looks like he's having some trouble getting the car to angle and having a hold. Am I reading that right? Like it's quite flat is the term I use. It's probably not the technical term, but is this not cranking to lock like you sort of expect from some of the other cars?
Yeah, that's right. Looks like it's a bit of a dart, that car. It's not ready to act very fast. Isaac Aldridge doing a nice job in the chase there, finishing off quite close to that door proximity.
Do they need to? So you would, I think you would use the term loosen it. You would kind of want to loosen it up a little bit, just to allow it that little bit more angle if you wanted to sort of maximise, I think, both the style and line points, because you're not carrying maybe the same angle. I don't think he's doing anything in terms of the qualifying criteria, right? You're expected to do largely what you did in qualifying, but he's not carrying that same angle as some of the top qualifying cars with.
That's correct. And we can see even Isaac Aldridge in the chase here has more angle than the lead car, so he just needs to loosen it up a bit for tomorrow's competition.
Yeah, tomorrow is quite different, isn't it? Because it's in reverse. Now, I didn't actually watch any of the reverse, so I'm going to rely on you there as the announcement comes through that Isaac Aldridge goes through. Isaac Aldridge goes through and locks himself into the top 8. And go down to Mr. McIvor chatting with Isaac Aldridge for Landmark Homes.
Hey Isaac, nice lead. Chase just looked a little late off the mark.
Yeah, it was a little bit messy, just sort of missed up the initiation a little bit, but
got there in the end, and just obviously we got the win, which is nice, but we're going to have to clean it up for the next battle. So go back and just refocus and get ready for the next one.
Don't beat yourself up.
Nah. Hey, just doing the best we can, eh?
Go get it.
Well done, thanks.
Thank you, Stephen. Isaac Gordon's looking it's pretty calm and collected down there, mate. Not too stressed, Benny, which is a good thing for a pro sport driver. So I think we're going to see a couple of mechanical laps now. So this will be Brodie Knowles, right? Because that's got the pro tyre back on the rear there. You can see the 265s fill the guards out. Now, I was talking about this yesterday in pro, and I'm told that the reason the smoke pattern looks slightly different is because it's got a steel plate sitting there, like a deflector, heat shield, and that's what causes it just to just disperse the smoke in a slightly different manner than any of the other cars. Now, speaking of testing, somebody just tested a long way off the grass in the background. I think it was Josh LaRosa. Pretty sure it was Josh LaRosa, and he's driven all the way back to all the way back home. I think he's gone way off the track. He might appear in the shot somewhere.
It may have been the
where
boss.
Where did he go?
It may have been the boss.
Was it the boss, McManaway?
Maybe. Firing
I
off the
just
back.
saw it was a 32, the EFI and not turbo. I think it is a turbo now, isn't it?
I think they got the turbo down overnight. So
everything, by the way, is Chicken's fault. I think it is. You're right. I think you're right. It is the boss, isn't it? It's Boss Man. Well, he's definitely an excavator by trade, right? He's gone digging a trench way off the side of Invercargill there. So that was the Boss Man McManaway for JDM Racing, just finding the limits. Bradley Knight now. First look at him for the Pro Sport round. It didn't come out the first time, I don't think, or we may have overlooked that. The next thing, I think, withdrew from competition. So Bradley Knight will lead away as the number 3 qualifier. Local man up against Mitch Daly, who got that earlier win and
not initiated.
No initiation, then real wide, and then also, but then Mitch has got out of drift, but it's happened after the no initiation. So this is just untidy from. Not the prettiest. Untidy from both.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's put on a killer lead run after the initiation. Our man in the Scotland, grabbing those important zones, having a little bit of a front wheel lock up as he was smashing that front brake and trying to miss the ripple strip on that last corner. But I would say that's going to be a no initiation.
Yeah, the judges have been pretty consistent in ruling that, haven't they? Effectively, if you're, there's just nothing. Yeah, there's no drift until halfway around the corner. That's basically a carbon copy of what we saw with the earlier, I think it was Trent Elmbranch, I think it was.
That's right.
Yeah. So
it
that's
was actually against Mitch Daly. It was actually against Mitch Daly in the first run there. So this is going to be
having an odd start to his campaign.
Mitch Daly's going to get some points.
I tell you what though, Mitch Daly is going to lord it over Aiden and Clayton if he's the one that gets the best result this weekend. Because I did tell you that yarn about meeting them for the first time, right? As we take a look at our 3 wise men along with our race control experts. Hello to the team up there. That is Sammy and Nikki, along with the other boss man, just sitting in the corner there, keeping things moving along smoothly. What are they looking at here? That's the DSO replay. So Joel that tells me that Joel Counter has picked something up maybe there. So the reason that they've turned around is that the DSO, the review officer, is Joel Counter. He is located in the judges booth, but he sits slightly differently. He doesn't have any interaction with the judges in a normal sense unless he picks up something in a run that he thinks potentially they've missed and he wants to bring it to their attention. So he is entitled to do that, and the drivers are entitled to, Ben, as you know, approach the CRO, who interacts with Joel as the DSO if you wish to request a decision at a review of a decision at any point in time. So there's a few rules and processes you have to follow just to keep everything above board and fair for everybody. But that's maybe an insight into how race operations work here at D1NZ. Switching over now, Mitch Daly will have the lead, Bradley Knight will have the chase.
If Mitch Daly completes this section, I would say he'll be in the box seat to go through. So let's see what he can do.
He's definitely initiated before the start. It is, I mean, it's always interesting as you learn, Ben, with less decades in the box than me. It's always interesting when they change the shots over in terms of how you look at things, but you kind of do over a number of runs pick up a perspective of where things should be, and this looks pretty solid here from Mitch Daly. It's not perfect, but it's what he needed to do to potentially see himself through into the 8. And it wouldn't surprise me if the RHP driver did go through to battle against Isaac Gordon, but we'll wait for the official call to come through over the Race Control channel. GT Radio replay. Benny, anything you can see there that you would highlight?
Mitch just finishing the section and grabbing some points, if we are correct in the skyline, getting a 0 for that lead run. Then he will be in the box seat to be going through to the 8, but not the greatest of lead runs from Mitch, but at least we didn't see a spin, and he completed the section, got nicely into the zones in the midsection, the fast zones, but just looked
okay,
like
so we're going side by, sorry to talk over the top of you there, mate. Just being told that the judges have asked for a side-by-side replay, so they're obviously not fully comfortable at the moment. They have picked up everything, and that leads me back to that kind of DSO thing, right? So that'll be what they're looking at there. Oh, okay, so deemed maybe then to have initiated, and Bradley Knight will get the call. Bradley Knight gets the call. And I can only imagine that they have deemed then that he has initiated, but it's just maybe come out of angle. Is that how you read that?
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused for that run.
All right, we're going to go down to Stephen McIvor with our winner, Bradley Knight.
Well, Bradley, you wouldn't call either of those runs pretty, would you?
They're a wee bit messy. I thought my lead was not too bad. I could still do better, that's for sure. Yeah.
Mate, you're through to the top 8, that's all that counts.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, it's cool.
Oh, Bradley's happy. That's the main thing, Benny. And look, I'm sure we could get some clarity on that, either from the judges or maybe later in a post-event kind of debrief review, but nonetheless it locks in. So that is the left-hand side of the tree set. Blake Miles, Tyler West, Isaac Aldridge and Bradley Knight. We now switch over and we will... Now I feel like this could be a really good battle. Sam Rowson, Tiger White. How good is it to see Tiger White back in competition after all these years? Nearly 20 years. Yeah, nearly 20 years since we last saw him competing. Yeah, he would have... Not putting you on the spot, but you were, well, how old are you now? You were sort of early 30s, right?
Yeah,
So you didn't have a license when Tiger White won his D1NZ round. I don't think you would have.
No, I probably did it back in 06, but it's definitely running around farm vehicles and learning to do it. That's for sure.
I did sort of ask Tiger during the week whether he still had the same CD, and it's because back in the day, right, back in the early sort of 2000s, it's pretty normal for these cars still to have stereos in them. And I know the legend goes that the same Dr. Dre CD is still in D1 Laurel that Sean Yeabury has. That CD is still in there from when it was last driven, and they've never taken it out because it's just a cool nostalgia thing. So here we go, Sam Rowson for Bridgestone up against Tiger White for VIP, the VIP Drift Team. Structural frames, steel and frames and trusses, all part of the VIP business empire. Of course, run by Dan Caldwell and Sam Edinburgh. And great to see Sam Rowson out there just turning tyres, and he is gone, Benny. Absolutely gapped Tiger White.
Sam has some great mechanical grip in that car. As we see
Tiger
firing around the last corner on the outside. It's going to be a massive advantage to Sam Rowson. Yeah, Sam has a lot of grip in that car on those Bridgestones.
Is it, so he is it? So that's part of the Bridgestone?
I saw a chunk of Bridgestones down the pit lane, and judging by the sticker on the side, it said its tyre is on. So great entry from Sam there. A nice flick, under power, no smashing the handbrake. Grabs one, grabs two, sets himself up quite nicely up for 3. Switching through the high-speed section out into outer zone 4 very nicely from Sam there, which then has set him up perfectly for that final corner. And just to let people know at home, the judges are asking for us to be mid-track on that last corner to allow for the chase car to get straight back on the door. Unfortunately, Tiger White was backwards and out in the weeds.
Yeah, if you weren't watching qualifying yesterday, Tiger White actually backed that car into the tyre wall on his first qualifying pass. You and I were watching, Ben, and it turned, and then the front wheels were on the grass, and it just sent him straight off the track. So I think it's pretty cool that car's actually back out there, because he did kind of just go into a brief safety inspection and went, no, I'm just going to send it. But it does look like the wing is off today, so I'm assuming that they had to make some repairs overnight to the VIP S13. But great to see Tiger White back out here, dabbling his feet in competition again. Normally found spinning spanners on the VIP drift cars of Dan and Sam, but out there doing some driving this weekend in the VIP colours.
Yeah, it makes a big difference as well. He could have removed that wing for grip, as I have done that this morning. The wing is off.
Explain that. So you've removed the wing for grip, because normally most people add a wing for grip.
Yeah, I've removed it for too much grip.
Ah, okay, right. So yeah, thank you for clarifying that for me. So yeah, so it's to alter the grip level within the car as opposed to, okay, sorry. You're confusing me, mate. This way you're here as the technical guy and I'm just the old guy who keeps talking. Let's see what Tiger White does in the lead here. Very laboured and slow on entry there from Sam Rowson, but I don't think he had anywhere to go.
Yeah, I think Sam just being a little bit cautious. His team's already told him that he does have an advantage here. Tiger White putting on what looks to be one of the nicer leads he's done this weekend. Yeah,
Sam Rowson displaying that ability to get up within proximity. Definitely has the faster car. He was able to reel Tiger White back in, so to speak. But we do need to look at this replay again here, because I'm just not sure what happened at the start. It was a little untidy, so I think Tiger should have been going quicker by then.
That's right. Yeah, it looks like Tiger was a little bit slow off the line there, which was causing Sam Rowson to have a bit of hesitant entry. It does look like Sam was entered in time.
As we see it drop off the side there for Tiger as well.
Yeah, Tiger just dropping a couple of wheels over this lap. One there at the end again. So I think with his mistakes he's made in the chase and in the lead, he is going to see him at round 2 tomorrow.
Yeah, all judges unanimous in a call there. It is Sam Rowson going through. So Stephen down there in the pits conducting proceedings. Usually like to have a chat with our top 8, so probably have a chat with Sam the Mo Rowson very shortly. Going through is Sam Rowson. Sam Rowson goes through.
Well, I can understand why you qualified so well. Very nice lead, strong chase. You must be feeling good.
Feeling real good, Stephen. Very good. I think we made a few changes and the car's feeling good. I'm feeling good. So next battle, looking forward to it. So.
Making changes because you want to make changes, or the tracks have played with you?
No, because we need to make changes. So, and the track's been a bit grippy, so it's doing, everything's working well.
You've got some laser focus right now, haven't you?
Feeling good, feeling good. So hopefully we'll be talking to you on the next one again.
Go get it.
Sounds good.
How about that, eh? Hey, he's right onto it.
Thank you, Mr. McIvor.
Hey, Tiger. How's the golf?
How's what?
That was just a bad golf joke. Tiger Woods, Tiger White. Sorry, that was a really bad go.
I'm stoked to be here. It's been a massive push from my whole team, Sam and DC, VIP. We got Surfab keeping this engine running mint, and my dad, of course, did all the fabrication with myself on this car. We didn't even get out of first gear before we got to the track yesterday, so the car's been performing. Yeah, made a bit of a mistake. I was riding as Sam smoked the whole time. I was driving blind, and then I was happy to still be where I was, and then the last corner I just ran out of lock. Anyway, I'm stoked to get this far.
Mate, for someone who didn't make it through the next stage, you're as happy as a pig in mud. But we're back tomorrow to do it all again.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much, D1. It's awesome, eh?
Go relax.
Yeah, man.
Go, don't you love this, eh? I gotta love this energy.
Oh, how good was that, Ben? How good was it?
Still bringing the dad jokes in, the golf jokes.
Yeah, but how good to have Tiger White back after near 20 years. All right, now this is Luke Chapel-Sayer in the lead. No, it's Josh LaRosa in the lead position, but very messy on entry. So it's Josh LaRosa and Luke Chapel-Sayer out there doing battle, but massive separation there, Benny. Just untidy right from the start. There's no other way to to describe that.
This would be very hard to judge. Untidy from both the boys. Josh LaRosa having a bit of a mess up there on his way through the first turn, and then obviously the massive gap that Luke Sare has to the lead car. That should be an inactive chase. We don't want to see that.
No, we do not want to see that. Judge is very clear and need to make adjustments, try and get back up into the pocket position. Luke Sare for 12 AM drift, just not able to close up that gap, but once it kind of got untidy, this is one of the things that does happen on these big tracks with the big fast flowing sections with the Pro Sports. They don't have the horsepower and the grip that Pro cars do, so they can't really just stand on it and run down a lead car, so to speak.
That's right, we're going to swap around here. This is going to be a challenge now for Josh LaRosa to chase the slower Safiro in the lead, so he's going to have to make some adaptations or changes to maybe his driving style, to what he's been doing, to be able to cater for that slower lead car, at a guess.
Well, I'm a huge fan, and you've personally heard me say this lots and lots of times, of needing to learn to drive a slow car fast rather than a fast car slow. I always think makes for better battle drivers, and I think certainly with yourself and your brother, you've had the opportunity over the years to jump into a variety of different things. I know you guys sort of almost like honing your skills, and they're not, well, compared to the 2J cars, your SR20s and stuff were a lot lower horsepower. You had to learn to drive those fast and try and hang with a guy like a Gaz Wider or a Darren Kelly early in your career to build your skill base before you got to the 800-900 horsepower 2Js and RBs, etc.
Yeah, that's correct. I campaigned that SR20 into a couple of seasons of Pro. It's a bit of a challenge, that's for sure, to keep up with these big monster RBs and 2Js back in the day. Here we go, swapping over. Luke Sare, a little bit faster out of the blocks for him this time. Maybe save the initiation to be later. Definitely cutting Josh LaRosa off there at that first point, but there's a massive difference in car pace here.
Yeah, it's not easy at all, is it, to try and modulate your speed and try and adjust for a completely unfamiliar driver as well. On an unfamiliar track, Josh LaRosa certainly has a bit of local knowledge there that'll be helping him as well in terms of attacking the rear of Luke Sare's car. So, yeah, I think Sare at a guess might be done for the day, and you'd imagine that that Josh LaRosa may go through and battle Sam Rowson, but look, that's why we're not the judges. We'll let them make that call there, because there's untidy things everywhere, isn't there, Benny? Like, you just saw that wheel off there in the replay.
It definitely was an untidy battle, with Josh LaRosa having that little issue in the lead as well as he was approaching out of zone 2.
Oh, okay, so Luke Sare gets the win there. So Josh LaRosa's been adjudged to have made a greater level of mistakes. Luke Sare goes through to battle Sam Rowson. So that is going to be a challenge, you're right, for Rowson, but he's probably one of the drivers who is perhaps slightly more experienced at trying to manage that thing, manage that type of thing in terms of chasing those slower cars.
I would say the judges would have heavily hit Josh LaRosa on his initiation and his re-initiation halfway around turn 1, and I would say that would have been zeroed. And that's all she wrote for that battle.
Alrighty, we're going down to the pit lane with Stephen.
Okay, I want you to rate both your runs.
I'm still getting to know the track, Only 5 laps yesterday. We arrived late. It's fast, very fast. And if you don't get the beginning right, it mucks you up for the rest.
Did you expect to be in the 8? Were you confident you could make the 8?
Look, after my big name got knocked out of the top 32, I was meant to verse. I wasn't very confident, but top 8, here we come.
Take confidence with this, mate. You're through to the 8. We'll talk to young Josh here, one of the locals. Got to put a show on for the locals. Good, mate. A little bit disappointed?
Yeah, just stuffed up that entry there on the lead run, so it was a bit disappointing, yeah. Just didn't quite get in there early enough, but yeah, oh well.
How much time have you had on this track?
Quite a bit, to be fair. Yeah, last 3 years I do a bit of practicing here over winter, so yeah, it's quite good, but oh well.
Well, mate, you got tomorrow to think about it. You know, you've done it now, so Go out there and show the locals what it's all about, eh?
Yeah, bro, I'll try to.
Good man, there you go. Joshua LaRosa, one of the local lads doing the job here. Okay, we're going to take a wee break. We still continue on in this top 16 of Pro Sport Live now, double header in D1NZ National Drifting Championship. There. I'll just wait you out of this break. I want you to
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Black Friday is back at Link ECU. 12% off plug-in ECUs, wire-in ECUs, Razor PDM, and we got 12% off select accessories. 15% off the G5 Voodoo Pro ECU, and this sale is going to be running from November 3rd to November 28th, so don't miss out.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the D1NZ National Drifting Championship, now a nationally recognised and accredited series under Motorsport New Zealand, which is absolutely fantastic. We are down here at Invercargill in the bottom of the South Island. It is a beautiful day here, and our pit co-host, Joe Maulder, is bringing us all the insights, facts and information from down pitside.
Thanks, you. I'm here with Connor Halligan. Now, he was our #1 qualifier yesterday. Connor, I've heard you had a few technical issues this morning. Will you tell us about them?
Yeah, so we actually had a few issues yesterday as well, but we managed to sort of get it sorted for qualifying, which was cool. But then we chucked another alternator on the car last night and had a few issues with the wiring and stuff this morning, so car was cutting in practice. So yeah, sort of just going to go out for a lap in a minute and hopefully it's all good leading to battles, but yeah.
You are leading the battles. Now, how do you feel that qualifying in the #1 spot is going to set you up to take out points for 2 rounds that we're running this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously what we wanted to do. Because of the dramas yesterday, that was kind of like sort of my practice almost, but we managed to put down a good lap, so I was stoked on that. It's pretty much the way to drive this track is just foot flat everywhere, 1 gear change in the middle and 1 at the end, and yeah, just keep it on the track. So, I mean, if we can keep doing that, we'll be in a good spot, and yeah, it's good that we get the lead first, because we've got some issues with tyre wear, so second lap we're sort of running out of tyre, so that'll be all right in the chase, but yeah, we'll make it work.
Do you want to give us any heads up then as to whether, as the high qualifier, you're going to choose that chase or that lead spot first time?
We'll definitely be going lead first, just because of the tyre wear issue. We've just got a better tyre for the first lap. We sort of put down a good lead lap, and then yeah, we can chase. We'll probably chase in a lower gear, I think. Yeah, just depending on car speed and whatnot. But yeah, we'll definitely be going lead, I reckon. Yeah.
Well, it's awesome to hear. I wish you all the best for the afternoon. We'll catch back up with the Pro Sports.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. She's doing a fantastic job down there, isn't she, Benny? Just bringing us all of the information. Connor was pretty coy there, wasn't he, on what he was going to do as far as lead or chase? I mean, does he know that you're listening? Where are you guys sitting in the tree? Are you going to come up against each other? Or are you anywhere?
We're going to.
Yeah, you are on the same side of the tree, aren't you? So he just doesn't want to give anything away. Who's he got there? No, he's got potentially Dino Young, Adam Davies, Roddy Knight, and Ben Jenkins. just sitting on the same side of the tree. No wonder he didn't want to tell us anything, but it's great to see Connor Halligan stitching together some of that form that we knew he was capable of putting together. Now, let's take a look at some highlights of this morning, Ben. Mitch Daly and Bradley Knight, interesting kind of battle that went down earlier, and we thought maybe Mitchell Daly might have got that one, but it was Bradley Knight who went through. Perhaps controversial, and we'll unpack that one maybe later in the week, because we were certainly looking at that thinking there was potentially a late initiation or a re-initiation from Bradley Knight. I'm sure head judge Darren will have some insight for us. Josh LaRosa, who we just saw on screen, and Luke Chappell-Sayer went head to head, and Luke Chappell-Sayer pretty pumped, it's fair to say, Ben, on his first appearance in the top 8 in D1NZ Pro-SPORT. So great to see him getting a reward for his efforts, coming all the way down from the he's from the middle of the North Island, sort of that Dannyburg kind of area, I think. Certainly Manfield is his home track. I do know that for a fact. I've seen him there plenty of times. Watch the replay then of Luke leading. He was we were wondering whether Josh LaRosa was going to have a challenge, maybe because Luke's car doesn't seem to be maybe as gripped up or quite as quick, Ben, as some of the other cars in the field, but nonetheless went through. Taking a look now at, I know we're going live now, so this is a top 16 battle. It is young Riley McEwen for four-wheel drive warehouse in the FCRX7 13B rotary turbo underneath the bonnet versus Johnny Burns. Is he RB or 2J, Ben?
Johnny Burns, SR20.
SR20. Is he?
SR20 VE.
VE. Alrighty.
Here we go, Riley McEwen with a great entry into the section.
I like it. It's nice and fast and flowing there. Keep on calling it, mate. Keep on calling it. You're in the groove.
Grabbing both zones. Up nicely up the hill. Johnny Burns just trying to get in that pocket, playing a little bit of catch up as Riley McEwen doesn't get his car into that outer zone 4 fully. Burns out the back in the smoke, just trying to finish this section to grab those points.
Hooked up in three-wheeled again, didn't it?
It
looks cool. It's not where he's supposed to be on the track, but it looks cool. Sometimes winning the internet's all you can hope for, isn't it, mate? Like when it's gone wrong and kind of you're just playing catch up. Yeah. It wasn't a rolling burnout, was it? Riley was where he was supposed to be. He was still carrying plenty of speed. I think he just was able to turn the tyres, wasn't he, with that rotor? I think that rotor thing's about 500-600 odd horsepower. I don't think it's quite as high horsepower as Ross's car, which is the 20B, and I think that one's about 700 odd horsepower. It's the sister car to Riley's.
Yeah, nice and tidy and consistent lead there from Riley. It would have been nicer to see him a little bit further into those faster zones, outer zone 3 and outer zone 4. Johnny Burns just doing what he needed to do in the smoke zone in the back. He had to shortcut turn 1 to grab some proximity as Riley created that lead at the start of the section. But a nice consistent lead from our scholarship winner, our young Riley.
So just taking a look here at how the day is playing out beautifully at Teretonga. Nice to see the fans in from early on this morning, taking advantage of their favourite viewing spots here at Teretonga. And it is one of those places you can kind of arrive and just put the deck chair out, lay out the picnic blanket in front of your vehicle and enjoy the D1NZ drifting action from your favourite viewing spot. Great to see so many families here. Plenty of other things going on as well in terms of there's plenty of merchandise available from both D1NZ and a lot of, I did notice a lot of the teams have t-shirts, Ben, for sale down in the pits here. So if you want to grab some merch from your favourite driver, support their campaign for the season, then go and see the teams at the appropriate time. I'll just say at the appropriate time. Otherwise, someone come and interrupt you while you're trying to change a diff or something or other, or a set of tyres as we get off the line with Johnny Burns and Elbrum's Fabrication out the front there. The S-powered S14. Now I can hear the SR singing. Then Riley McEwen comes on song in the 13B rotary, and this is a chase from Riley McEwen. This is some form from Riley, and I like this. This makes me think he's going to be a threat in this top 4. Riley McEwen, put your hands together. Teretonga for the young fella, 16 years old. That was why he was a scholarship winner last year, and I saw the little fist pump there. I saw Riley. Riley sees himself, and he's kind of in the zone there, feeling that run there. Nice drive from young Riley McEwen, but that is possible because Johnny Burns has left the door open there. What did you see, Benny?
Johnny Burns leaving the door open right at the start of the section. He doesn't get into clip 1 or zone 1. Very nice. Riley McEwen taking full advantage of that and following him up. into outer zone 2. Now, it was a great chase by Riley McEwen. I think this one here, we've had a close 2 battles. This one here is going to come down to the mistakes that Burns made in the chase on the first run. Riley McEwen put on a stellar lead. Johnny Burns putting on a pretty good lead apart from his mistake at outer zone 1. The rest of the section from Burns, he's done a nice and tidy job. And McEwen, he's right there with him throughout the whole section. That's what we want to see.
That is exactly what we want to see. So our top 8 definitely starting to take shape now, and there is some real quality in the 8. Now, Ben, there's going to be some pretty tough battles here, I think, with Blake Miles, Tyler West already locked in, Isaac Aldridge, Bradley Knight already locked in, Sam Ralston, Luke Chappell-Sayer locked in, and we go to Stephen for a result. Going through is Riley McEwen.
Mate, you've come a long way from being a scholarship driver. Those were 2 beautiful runs. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. I'm pretty happy about that, eh? Just want to thank my sponsors and my dad for bringing me down here.
Mate, you've got laser focus on. Now you're into the 8.
Yeah, I can't complain about that, eh?
No, you cannot complain. Let's talk about the man that got engaged on the way down. Johnny Burns, where did you engage? Where did you propose, mate?
So I popped the question on the ferry coming into Picton, where it's so beautiful through there.
So didn't have a vomit bag, and it wasn't that rough.
Nah, it was beautiful coming through.
You didn't go, will you?
No. I got the timing a bit wrong because the sun comes up a bit late here, so it was under the stars, not under the sunrise. So,
mate, that's romantic.
Yeah, she still said yes, so I'm super stoked, and I'm pretty happy to be going out to a dude that drives like that. Like that's some sick driving. There's some mean talent coming through in the sport. But we'll be back tomorrow, and we're trying to take the box this week. I want one step on that bloody podium.
Well, from all the D1NZ team, congratulations, mate. You're going to be a married man soon enough.
Soon enough, man. Soon enough. Let's get through the season, eh? Thanks, D1.
All right, how about that, eh? Under the stars. Beautiful.
Oh, thanks. Thank you, Stephen, for bringing the broadcast to life. And right now, I'm just sitting here thinking, imagine walking down the aisle. All right, we go back to action. It is the John Atwood Barra out front, L Branch Fabrication on the side, and he is running away from Aidan Daly in the LS powered S14 out of the RHP stables in Tauranga. Aidan Daly has been on the podium before, but John
Atwood shuts it down.
No, John. And that is officially my first commentator's hit for the day, Ben.
It was going so well until it wasn't. I think Johnny Boy there. That thing's got some pace.
It was flying.
It was
flying, and then it was still flying.
Created a big gap there. John Atwood always putting on a show. I think it's 800 horsepower, this thing. Grabbing a couple of clips, a little bit messy through the centre section, but look, he is just absolutely gone in front of Aidan Daly. High speed into outer zone 4, the high speed zone.
Was he just going too fast at 4? And it just
too fast?
Yeah.
Too fast.
So he knew that was going to go, and he's actually, has he got out of that to actually bring it back straight? Because you don't want to go off sideways, right, and dig in.
He was flying. Yeah. He was flying off outer zone 4, so he shut it down so he didn't end up in bluff, I reckon. That's what he is doing here. Bit of a party lap from Atwood in the lead. And unfortunately, he hasn't finished the section, so we're going to have to put a 0 next to his name.
You're right, like he was headed for bluff, wasn't he? And he would have, at that point, he would have gone, this is going to bite and go in, and if I hit that trench, it's going to rip. It's going to be a repeat of what we saw yesterday with it'll do so much damage to the rear of that car, you wouldn't be able to fix it in time for the next battle, and you would possibly jeopardise tomorrow as well. So
that's right.
Probably, I mean, look, it's probably, in fairness to John, with the speed he has and the driving ability he has, I feel like he could probably feel like he could come out now, put some pressure on Aidan and hope that he makes a mistake and tries to get that one more time replay. That'll be what's going through his mind, I would imagine.
That's exactly what John Atwood's going to need to do here. He's going to need to put a pressure beyond the door of Aidan and force Aidan into a mistake. And on the other side, all Aidan needs to do is grab some points,
complete the lap.
And complete the lap. That's where comms come in so handy, Warren.
Yep, and we do know that the RHP team is certainly one of the more professional outfits here. I would imagine that if comms were desired, and that was how Aiden wanted to drive, and I don't know the answer to this, by the way. I don't know whether Clayton, Aiden or Mitch run comms. Certainly they would have the ability to do that. And sorry, I should mention Stocky as well, Alex Griffin, also part of the RHP team, all 4 of them, with the RHP branding on the side. RHP is, of course, Reed and Harrison Performance. So let's see what Aiden does. How does John position this car given the raw speed there? Did you see that he was in a rolling burnout right from the start?
He was humming, but here we go. Aiden Daly putting on a bit of a show here in the lead. Nice tidy lead, just doing what he needs to do to get through the section. Atwood's applying the pressure.
Is he going to tag him? It'll be pretty close. Oh, Atwood, too much speed, and I don't think, looked like nothing too wrong there from Aiden Daly up front. Did you see the bonnet jump on John Atwood's car, by the way?
I did indeed.
Like it was
maybe
almost
it was
like
only half latched.
Yeah, maybe the pins have kind of pulled out slightly or something, and a washer missing or something. You'll see as we take a look at the GT Radio replay here. I honestly thought John Atwood was going to drill the side of that RHP car. The radar knots he was closing it in the way, he just popped out of the smoke right through here, I think it is. See, just the, oh, maybe it's just the bounce, flex and a fiberglass. Oh, that's pretty close on that switch, isn't it? And then Atwood's ended up in the wrong position, put a tyre off the outside there, and it's pretty hard to see any way you can come back from mistakes on either run there. So we wait for the judges to lock one in.
It's quite twitchy, that Atwood car, especially in the chase there. A lot of wavering going on. I think it's because he might have a bit too much pace in that car.
So top 8 is now looking pretty set and done. As we watch another look at the GT Radio replay, it was so close on that transition.
Yeah. Then he drives up. He's close on the transition, and he drives up. So that shows you how much forward drive and grip that's in the Atwood car compared to the Daly S14 in the lead.
But sorry, I was going to say, technically it wanted to shoot forward, 2 didn't off the inside of the track. So Stephen is ready to announce our winner is Aiden Daly.
Always look forward to talking to Aiden Daly, because every time you talk to him, there's a smile on his face, even more so now.
Yeah, nah, that was bloody wicked, eh? Old John, bloody good driver. Was having a yarn to him a little bit earlier, had some issues with his alignment, and the top arms popping out. So I think that's what caught him out on the last corner on his lead, which is gutting. But stoked to be going through and ready to see what happens next.
Well, you complete the 8 on day 1 of a double header. Must be feeling good, huh?
Yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to all the next battles. I've got my older brother riding this puppy in pro as well. So let's hope she handles it.
Family affair. Good luck, mate. There we go. The 8's complete as we get ready for more.
Thank you, Stephen. We are indeed ready for more, and Ben, this is one of the battles that you and I were talking about earlier that could be pretty good between 2 drivers who know each other well and have faced off before. Blake Miles in the S15 up against Tyler West in the S14. So this is the first of our top 8. So we have Blake Miles, Tyler West, Isaac Aldridge and Bradley Knight is the sole representative of the South Island still left in competition. Sam Rowson and Luke Chappell-Sayer, Riley McEwen and Aiden Daly are the top 8. So what do you reckon here, Benny?
I am looking forward to this battle. Blake Miles putting on a stellar lead run as we saw in the 16s. So this is going to be a great battle for sure. Tyler's going to need to be on his game here, A-game.
So they'll initiate here pretty smoothly, pretty quickly. Both cars have plenty of power to turn those tyres early. Blake Miles just straight out to where he needed to be, flirts with the outside of the track, coasts nicely around the inside, fills up that outside zone again. You see Blake Miles just leans ever so slightly on the outside of the track there, but it looks really finessed, it looks really nice and controlled from Blake Miles out front. There is nothing wrong at all with what Tyler West is doing. He just can't hang with the speed Blake Miles has got out front. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. The man is delivering pro runs. He is delivering pro level runs in pro sport, and he is going to be the benchmark this season.
Yeah, 100%. Blake Miles, it was an amazing lead run again. Grabs that out of zone 1, grabs out of zone 2, switches up the hill. Tyler Paul stuck in the smoke, unfortunately. But Blake Miles, he is hitting his marks and trying to put on that epic lead run for Tyler to be jumping in the pocket.
Did he lift Henry?
Maybe
slightly,
maybe a slight lift into the last turn, but wow. He is driving that S15 very, very well.
So if I put you in the chase driver's seat there, what would that feel like to chase? That would be just one of those things you'd be pumped for him, and you'd be going, how do I follow that? Like,
you'd be trying to get in the pocket. With Blake Miles doing that sort of stellar lead, in Tyler's mind, or in my mind, you'd be trying to get in the pocket, drive up, sacrifice a few things like line and your angle. You want to get back on that door, and that's what the judges have asked us to do. Sacrifice a few things, get back on that door, and put on a show.
And then they were like, we've got cars out, back again.
Alrighty, so waiting for the drivers to come back around here as we almost ready to lock in for another part of our top 8 battles. Speaking of battles, battling with the hair and the flow is something that is a challenge for many of us, but clearly not down here in Invercargill, Benny, because there's some absolutely magnificent mullets down this way.
That one right there, Warren, is a
That
ripper.
was fantastic. There's a few floating around the pits. There's a few. Did Blake Miles just tag the back of Tyler West?
Possibly, might have been a little bit slower on entry than Blake would have anticipated.
I think it was just a hurry up, wasn't it? I'm here, hurry up.
Blake Miles sitting nicely in that pocket. You're just going to be careful you don't get stuck in that smoke screen. Tyler doing an amazing job in the lead run as well, delivering another very nice lead for Blake to chase.
What this highlights to me is just how much faster Blake Miles is through the whole thing. You just see how he stays on throttle and then he just accelerates up to the lead car. As the other drivers are making adjustments, he's just going, like just flowing through the whole thing.
That's right.
So there was a little love tap there. It was the little V8 supercar bump and run.
That's right, that's right. Tyler just getting a little bit messed up on his entry. Looked like he was maybe a little bit too committed and he was worried. He got a bit hesitant at outer clip 2. Then he tidied it up and gave Blake a hell of a lead to be chasing. A touch short into the last turn. Blake Miles just staying off the ribble strip. Tyler, well done, Tyler.
Yeah, I don't think, not like nothing bad from Tyler at all. He's just unfortunately up against the guy who is driving like he is more than ready to be in the pro class at this point in time. He won't jump this season, and there isn't a provision in the rules for him to be graduated up a class. You must stay in the same class that you started the season in. Hello, gentlemen there, enjoying some prime viewing. Another fantastic do there. Boys have got the couch out on the back of the ute, and the call is made. Stephen, who's going through?
Blake Miles, you are killing it today. Wonderful lead, wonderful chase. I mean, that chase, you were trying to claw all over his boot.
Yeah, a couple of mistakes in the chase, so I want to tidy that up, but we're feeling pretty confident in the lead and ready to put some more grip in it and start pushing a bit harder.
Now, I suppose the question is, lots of bad issues with the cars. No issues?
Nah, this thing's been pretty good this weekend. Just had to adjust the clutch, had a couple of things come loose, but it's been pretty reliable, the old JZ.
Into the 4.
Into the 4, let's go.
Closer we get to find a round 1 winner here in D1NZ.
Thank you, Stephen McIvor. A big smile on Blake Miles' face tells you all you need to know about how comfortable that man is feeling at the moment. Ben, he's going to lock in a date with either Isaac Aldridge or Bradley Knight. Now, I have to say, I think Bradley Knight probably, from what we saw in qualifying, Bradley Knight would have the speed to go with Blake. We did see he was the early benchmark in qualifying, so Bradley Knight's car certainly not lacking in power. Then we're going to look at Sam Rowson, Luke Chappell-Sayre, Riley McEwen, and Adam Daly. So Isaac Aldridge, just a pest, isn't he? He's just, as we get to battles, the man is just there and he just comes to life. Just always sort of qualifies around that same sort of mark. Sharpened it up a bit this year with a number 4 qualifying result, but he just comes to life in battles, and here we go, he chooses to lead away. We haven't seen anyone choose to chase yet. I'm not sure if Bradley Knight quite knows how to approach chasing Isaac Aldridge and then puts 2 wheels off the inside, so that will be a massive deduction for the last remaining Southern hope. Bradley Knight. Oh, Bradley Knight's got it all wrong and he's out of drift now. Isaac Aldridge needs to complete this run here and he will lock in a massive... Did you see that? He just looked across the track going, why is there a car driving towards me over the grass?
What happened there? That's going to be an interesting one to check on the replay, but Isaac Aldridge giving him Bradley Knight a nice lead run.
Yeah, like it was there for him to chase. Like from what we saw from Bradley, should have been there. I wonder if, I think that's 3 wheels off, so it's a 0 from there anyway, and then he gets out of this here, and it just goes straight ahead. So I wonder if something's broken and let go on the steering, he hasn't been able to turn it.
Or he switched too early and wanted to bail out, possibly, otherwise he was going to end up on the ripple strip. But this is a good example, Warren. Isaac nails the clipping points to start. The first corner is nailed by Isaac here. And it creates that gap with Bradley Knight not being able to be close. But so much emphasis on the lead car as a chase car as well. You need to be in that pocket on the start of the lap. Otherwise, if the lead car hits its marks perfectly, you're going to be gone.
Oh, so you're thinking there that maybe Bradley Knight has just reacted to the pressure being applied by a fast start to Isaac, and then it's just gone wrong from there. And look, I think we'll find out if they come back around and there's no mechanical check done or anything. It didn't look like Bradley hit the ripples or anything particularly hard, so maybe just a quick once over by Launch Master Willie and the team in the Link ECU start zone, and I'd imagine we'll be underway again pretty shortly.
Looks like we only have one car making it back to the line. Oh, there we go.
It's just coming around now, yeah.
Green skyline coming up, that's all right.
Look, I do hope that those of you who are out there watching today, while there is still a bit of wind, I do hope that you got sunscreen on, because there is still a bit of UV out there. So safety first, particularly with children, slip, slop, slap, and also if children need hearing protection, please do make sure that you provide that to them. Just those loud noises sometimes aren't that much fun. See what happens here this time around for Bradley Knight. Now Isaac hasn't initiated into the chase.
That's correct. Isaac not initiating into the chase. All he needs to do here is get some points, but it's going to be interesting to see what the judges think about that. Bradley Knight out in the lead, getting most of his zones quite well, staying on the track to the section he was off before, and switching into the last. Isaac's backwards in the chase.
He's just trying to slow it down to not hit Bradley Knight, maybe? Is that why he cranked it to lock?
Possibly. Looked like a bit of a slow finish there for Bradley Knight into that last turn.
So now that was really late on the initial.
I'm down here at the Schmick Hard Park. We have been presented some beautiful cars that the Southlanders have brought out for us. We've got very shiny, beautiful work wheels S14 with carbon fibre. We've got a S15. It's also got work wheels on it. And this gent here in this purple glitter 180SX keeps claiming that he doesn't own it. But I don't know why you wouldn't want to own that. It's a beautiful piece of machinery. Here we've got an R32 Skyline. Looks like it's owned by a chick as well. And yeah, we're just joined by heaps of beautiful cars down here at the Schmick Hard Park. So if you are here at Teretonga, maybe you're on the outfield, come on the infield, check these beautiful machines out. It's well worth it.
Alrighty, so we're back here live. We appreciate you bearing with us here at Teretonga. We are into the top 8 of Pro Sport, the development series on 235 wide radial tyres. Sam Rowson on the grid, lined up against Luke Chappell, Sare Team 12 AM. The Bridgestone tyres on Sam Rowson's car doing a pretty solid job here, Ben. That's a lot of tyre that's particularly common in the series, so certainly some good advertising there for Bridgestone, and Sam Rowson, the man you want to go on board and go on that journey with in Pro Sport for the 25 season. Luke Chappell, Saren's doing a pretty good job here. He's found some confidence, definitely struggling with the speed of Sam Rowson out front and just trying to hang on, and that's a rocket ship past him. Send it and don't bend it.
That was a Hail Mary into the last corner there from Luke Chappell, so yeah, he did a not too bad of a job there, Luke. Through the first 2 clips into the zone 3.
He was headed for Bluff. he got directions from Tiger White and he was headed for Bluff. So I don't think we have a replay there, but that's okay. We'll wait for the cars to come back and run. So we're taking some crowd shots here. Shout out to Smart Steel Recovery being provided for the D1NZ series by Purahi and his team from Smart Steel. Every now and then you'll see them appear on screen, but in fairness, the less we see them, the better.
That's right.
It means the event is flowing and that people haven't had to be recovered, so that is a good thing. And I'm going to send a shout out also to Macaulay Motors down here in Invercargill. Thank you to Macaulay Motors, who provide the recovery vehicles here at Teretonga, and also provided myself, Keske and Stephen with a lovely Ranger Wild Track to get around while we're down here. So shout out Macaulay Motors, the southernmost Ford dealer in the world. They did confirm that has been established with Ford globally. They compared themselves to South America, and they are the southernmost Ford dealer in the world. So if you're looking for something Ford, then go and see Macaulay Motors here in Invercargill over on D Street.
Little plug
for
your wheels.
Mate, you got to look after those who look after you. So look, it isn't easy putting together events like this when a majority of the staff have to fly in and get around the place. So yeah, thank you to Macaulay Motors, who are supporters of motorsport here in Invercargill, supporting the track on a regular basis and supporting part of the D1NZ efforts here this weekend. So we switch over now, and it is Luke Chappell, Sare in the lead position with Sam Rowson. I think the smart play here for Rowson, Ben, is sit back and see how this one plays out.
Yeah, that's right. Luke Chappell's been a little bit all over the place at the start of this section. We see Rowson here getting set behind. There's not too much of a smoke screen coming from that Zafiro in the lead, so Rowson can then start to creep up and get on that door. So all he needs to do here, Sam, is grab some points, move through. That's exactly what he's done.
That was a tester, wasn't it, from Luke? From Sam. All he was trying to do there was just see how he could range up, I think, and try and get a read on what the smoke conditions are like, because I think he knows that he's certainly going to have to be on the door as we move into the top 4. I'll be fairly confident that he will move through, but we'll wait for the official call as Mr. McIvor, no doubt, will proceed over pit lane ceremonies.
Sammy Rowson there, just putting on a great drive. Now, you know what I'm looking forward to, Warren? I'm looking forward to seeing, possibly later in the ladder, Sam Rowson, Blake Miles. Now, that is what I'm looking forward to. These boys have been both very consistent, probably, well, they are. They're the top 2, 1 and 2 in qualifying.
Well, the only way that happens, because of where they are in the tree, is if they meet in the final.
That's correct.
Or they could be in the 3rd and 4th. But with due respect to the way that they are both driving at the moment, you would think that as 1 and 2 qualifiers, they probably are odds-on favourites for the final later here today.
Can't forget Riley McEwen, though. I'll take that on me. Riley McEwen's been driving well.
Well, Riley's car probably is probably the one that's capable of the speed that the other 2 are. Coming down to Stephen McIvor, presiding over the top 8 down there in pit lane. Mr. Rowson.
So you said last time everything was good.
Yeah.
It's still good?
Still feeling good, yeah, still feeling good.
You said you were going to push harder. Did you really push harder?
I feel like I did push hard enough on Luke, so that was good. He put on a fairly decent lead, so that was good to tuck up on him there. And every lap seems to be getting better and better, so it's good.
I got a feeling you've eyed what podium spot you're going to get.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, someone's got to take Blake Miles out, don't they?
What if that's the final? That's a cracker. So go prepare yourself again.
See ya.
There you go. We're first into the 4. Another one of the 4.
Was that a shot fired there, Benny? Was that a little mind game from Sam Ralston? I don't mind that.
I rate that. I rate the confidence from Sam Ralston there. That's awesome. And let's see if he's got to get through one of the next 2 to make that final. And Blake's obviously still got to get through
Isaac
Aldridge as well. So there is some talent here.
Well, you're right. Like Riley is not going to be an easy opponent. If he gets the win over Aiden, and he's still got to go through Aiden, then yeah, Riley's not going to make this easy, because I don't think Riley has been on the podium yet in pro sport.
Yeah, I don't think he's.
I'm happy to be corrected if anyone knows out there in live stream land. I don't think he has been on the podium. I know he's definitely qualified in the top 3 before, but I don't think he's made it through the battle portion to stand on the podium yet as a 16-year-old. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Here we go. Riley McEwen rolls off the line. 4-wheel drive warehouse sponsored FCRX 715B underneath the bonnet. Hissing the smoke off those good ride tyres. Aiden Daly looks a lot more sorted this time, Ben, but he has kind of had to fall onto the inside line because Riley McEwen is stretching the rotary legs now and he's starting to drive away. Riley is looking really smooth and flowing. Like we referenced Blake, we referenced Sam, but Riley's not far off.
That was a great lead there from Riley we saw, but hey, can't take away from Aiden Daly there. He closed that gap up very nicely towards the end of that lap. It's looking like every lap Aiden's getting in that car is getting a bit more comfortable, but Riley McEwen, nice on power initiation through the cones as the judges asked for, grabbing 1, keeping a mid-track line around the 2, not shutting the door out for Aiden Daly, giving him as much space as he needed to try and come up and get onto that door. Dropped back a little bit through the centre section there, unfortunately, Aiden. But did a great job of closing that gap up to our final turn and finishing up around a car length away. But good lap from both the boys. Riley McEwen very consistent in the lead.
All 4 of these guys, there's 5 left, right? But with Blake, with Isaac, with Sam Ralston locked in, you definitely earned your way into the final, into the top step of that podium. Honestly, none of these guys would be out of place competing with the pro field this weekend. The laps that we're seeing from these guys, the speed, the consistency, the flow is there or thereabouts to where I would expect some of the pro cars to actually be performing in. I think that what that speaks to, Ben, is the fact that our judges have actually done a good job in laying out the section and the way that they've asked for things to happen here at Invercargill, which I think sets us up really nicely for tomorrow, for Pukekohe, for Gisborne, and for that final at Bay Park. Like, it's shaping up to be a really exciting 25-26 series. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out.
The criteria that our 3 judges have set out has just been great for this track, and what they're doing with their hard calls. There's no leeway. If you're not initiated by the cones, it's 0. That's what we've needed for years. So
what's fast too? Like, it has been really fast and decisive, and Riley McEwen straight onto the gas, like a big rolling entry from Riley there, just making his intentions known. And I think he's probably going to sit back that 1 or 2 car lengths again. I think he knows he's got the faster car, and what he won't want to do here is find that he gets trapped in Aiden Daly's smoke screen and ends up in the wrong place, or ends up making contact with Aiden Daly and possibly turning him around. This is a nice drive. Oh, Riley, just a mistake there at the end there, maybe. That was kind of what I was talking about. He just got that little bit too close, and I wonder if he gave himself a little fright, jumped out of it, and it straightened up on him. But
he just pulled up a touch short of the chase there on the last corner. But Aiden Daly, this is a great lead run from Aiden Daly. Like I said before, he is getting more confident with every lap he is doing in this RHP S14. So he's done a great job filling outer zone 3, and then he did an even better job in outer zone 4. The only thing is he switches and possibly shuts Riley out of touch there as he comes down the track.
Okay, I see it now.
That's the thing. If Aiden had been more mid-track, and Riley would have been more confident to follow the S14 around that corner in the pocket.
Well, where are the wires? So this is interesting. If you haven't seen this before, so what you're seeing on the screen is the judges and the way that this works. They have a device, and they can simply lock in A, B, or one more time. There are only 3 options that they have. So we are having another look here. So the judges wanting to be very clear, not quite confident in making the call yet. We did reference just a few moments ago the fact that the judges have been very decisive and very quick where it's been very clear cut. So if they're looking at this again side by side, that makes me think that there is a potential for a one more time, or there is a potential here for a pretty hard decision needing to be made. Yeah, I can't see anything major. Waiting for a decision to come through. Still waiting, still waiting. Big wheels keep on turning.
One more time.
One more time. So we kind of, well,
Riley's looking at me going, what's one more time? You got to go do it again, pal. Get out of here.
I like how Stephen does that in the best school teacher manner possible, right?
That's right.
Get out of here, young fella. Go and do your homework. Did you see that actually the other day? Riley was doing his homework in the car. I think while they were changing tyres. He was in the car on the laptop doing his homework while I think Ross was changing the tyres on the back of his car.
Good man.
It did make me laugh, but education first. Education is important to her.
Got to get your homework done before you go drifting, that's for sure.
Yeah. Alrighty, so all the prime viewing spots being filled here at Invercargill. Making our way nicely through the battles here of the Pro Sport Series. Taking another look at the runs here and what led us to the one more time. And yeah, Benny, look, as you get a little bit of water into you. That's all right. No, have some water, mate. That's okay. I was just, sorry, I didn't notice that you'd quickly just hit the mute button there to get a bit of water into you. Taking a look at the replay again, judges unable to separate, and a fair battle and a fair decision there. Nobody minds seeing good drifting again. And good drifting is what we saw from both drivers there. So that will briefly just hold us up, I would imagine, because Riley and Aiden probably do need to change tyres, and the other battles are all now into top 4 semis. So we could see Blake and Isaac possibly. Depending on how we're going. We are relatively time certain because we do have to be on air for Sky TV at a certain time in the day, and you need to go, Ben, because you need to go and drive when Sky TV joins us. We will still be here on Oversteer TV if you want to join via the premium subscription, but Sky TV, the place for all of your live drifting action over the course of the D1NZ National Drifting Championship season 25-26. And we are in fact going to see Blake Miles and Isaac Aldridge do battle first. This is for a spot in the final. Blake Miles for laid out, Isaac Aldridge for Landmark Homes. BMW up against the BMW with the LS, up against the S15 with the 2J. So this is kind of the global drifting paradox, really. If you think about the different ways you can go with the car, the S chassis is fairly proven, the 2J is very proven, it's a very popular combination in Japan, United States and in Europe. The BMW with the V8 is a different way you can go that you certainly see a lot more through Europe and the United States, through the likes of, I think the pioneer was kind of like Michael Esser, did some things early on with those, and then the Eurofighter HGK kind of cars. So.
That's right. There's a lot of great quality BMWs around the world. Our friend Drift Squid over there in Japan has a nice C92.
Well, he's got a combination of both, right? Because he's got the 2J. No, he's got is the 2J? No, RBM. Yeah, RBM3. So here we go with Blake Miles stretching the legs again, but laid out the S15. Getting excited there. He's getting pumped up as we get through to the top 4, the pointy end of the field for the D1NZ National Drifting Championship. This is the Pro Sport Development Series, and Blake Miles is blazing, but Isaac Aldridge is not making it easy for him. And here comes Aldridge, closing the gap as they go through outer zone 5, and a nice battle there, Benny. Pretty hard to separate there for both drivers. We have the best view in the house for this, honestly. Like, you and I get to enjoy this. Now, there was separation there at the start, which makes me just think, okay, so we just need to analyse here and work out how Isaac Aldridge closed up the gap here. So he has stayed down the track there, which is okay. That's what the judges asked for. Blake Miles, I don't think, got quite as deep into 3 as we have seen maybe on previous runs, but still not bad from Blake, right? Like, a Blake bad run is a 100% run for most other people. but Isaac was right there at the end. So
Isaac doing an amazing job in the chase there to try and catch up with Blake Miles. He definitely took down a bit of that deficit he had in the gap, for those cars. But Blake Miles, man, he is impressing me. This is some great driving from the tour car, man. Blake Miles, take your hat off. That is a great lead run once again, promoting all the opportunities for Isaac Aldridge to jump up in that chase.
Yeah. So I think if you want to get into that kind of mentality of the 10-point slipping scale, that's literally the 5.25, 4.75 type run. Like, it is a quarter of a point kind of thing separates the drivers. That's really all it is. And you could almost call it, depending on how you looked at it, and we have 3 judges who from time to time will see things differently, right? You could call it almost flat even, or you could maybe slightly an advantage to Blake off the lead would be the only thing, just because Isaac was a little bit back, but then he kind of did what he was asked to do. So
that's right. Now Blake Miles here, with Isaac Aldridge being consistent in the lead also. Blake Miles just needs to be a touch closer than what Aldridge was in his chase, and that will give him a guarantee through to the final. But let's see what we can do. Blake Miles, we know he can chase.
Yeah, so the intention's known right from the start, right? Blake Miles right there beside me. So Isaac Aldridge would have heard Blake Miles' engine there beside him. One of the things, was it a wheel off the inside? I'm going to leave that one for the 3 wise men, but here comes Blake Miles putting the pressure on. Isaac Aldridge doing a great job out front for Landmark Homes in the LS powered BMW. Opens the door up, and then he's gone down the track slightly compared to where Miles was. So you lead for lead chase. Now what's happened at the end there, Benny?
He's off the track, but it might be.
Did he go off?
Might be okay. The judges have given leeway for the chase car.
Did he go off the track inside to the outside? Did it flick back quite violently? I want to see that. I don't know if we can extend out that shot there, but this is the thing stepped up. And now this is where I saw Blake run around the inside.
One wheel for Blake there.
One wheel off.
Isaac wasn't into outer zone 4 as deep as Blake was. And that could be a deciding
Blake
factor in this.
Here, but down the track, right? He's come down the track there. Blake's sat mid. And then there isn't really anywhere left for Blake to go.
There's the finish cones. There's the finish cones for the chase car coming up.
Blake's straight. Blake's straight through the finish cones.
Interesting. But in saying that,
why is he straight?
Why is he straight? He's stuck in the smoke screen of Isaac Aldridge. Is Isaac Aldridge in the correct place for the final turn? To me, he's not. To me, he's 2 on the inner, bringing the inner ripple of that last turn, which is smoke screening Blake Miles into thinking, where the hell am I?
This is it. So do we see more from the aerial? I'd love to be able to get closer on that shot. So the judges are still deliberating. We're getting to the pointy and the exciting part of the battles now, aren't we, Ben? How's this going for you so far, mate? Is this putting you in the mood to want to drive now?
I'm enjoying it. I've got my top class team outside. They've been prepping my car, so I'm going to be a bit of a superstar and jump straight out of here into my
rockstar lifestyle.
Rockstar race suit, jumping straight in my prepped car, cleaned and washed. Bumpers back on, things like that, all sorted out.
You did control out delete the bumper yesterday during qualifying, didn't you? But that was just cable ties.
Unfortunately, yes, the Origin Labo bumper, the beautiful bumper that I've got on that car now. But it's back on.
We're on replays again. So that means the judges are asked for a look at something again. I reckon they're looking at what you said, Ben. So there's a deduction. There's definitely a deduction there. But then we're going to just look at this in section here.
To see Isaac Aldridge doesn't get all the way into outer zone 4, it messes him up for this last corner.
So Blake's on the line that's prescribed where he's supposed to be. It comes down to how the judges perceive and whether that has impacted. And the winner is Blake Miles.
So the form continues, and now you get the chance to battle for the round win. How good does that feel right now?
Oh, pretty good, but made a lot of mistakes in that battle, so really want to watch the replay and tidy that up. Got a little bit lost in the smoke on that last corner and hit the grass, so try and not do that. But no, we're pretty happy with how today's going, and big push for the final.
Go hit the books. and we'll see you in the final.
Thank you so much.
Joe.
Okay, Isaac, unfortunately you didn't come off with a win there, but you've been looking really strong this weekend. Tell me about the changes that you had with your fuel pressure over the off-season.
We actually didn't really change anything. We just went through, made sure everything was all serviced, and it seems to be all right. I think it's mainly a temperature thing, just the sitting idling on the track that it seems to just heat the fuel up and cause some fuel pressure issues. But tracks like this, we don't seem to have too much of an issue.
That's good, and when we do get to the tighter tracks, I hear you've installed a fan to keep that temperature of your fuel low, so hopefully you continue good form.
Yeah, thank you very much. Look on to the next one.
All right, we'll see you next.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Stephen. Doing a great job down there pit side. Isaac Aldred, of course, his day's not done. He's still got to compete for 3rd and 4th place. So D1NZ is one of the series that continues to run 3rd and 4th battles. As you're aware, Benny, I'm not always. I'm actually not a huge fan, to be fair, of the 3rd and 4th place battle. I don't really like it, but you as a driver, I know, are probably one of the people who wants to battle and drift as much as you possibly can. So you're a fan of the 3rd and 4th place battle?
Yeah, we want every chance you can have to make the podium, right? So it gives you your last chance.
All right, speaking of last chance, potentially Riley McEwen and Aidan Daly have one more shot at finding their way into the top 4. So they are looking for a spot in the semi-final to battle either Sam Rowson to battle Sam Rowson for a spot in the either the final or 3rd and 4th place. Riley McEwen looks like he's still displaying that same sort of form, but Aidan Daly definitely came back stronger that time.
Yeah, that was great from Aidan Daly, closing that gap towards the end of that lap. Riley McEwen with a stellar start though. Geez, that thing can put up some smoke, that little RX-7 with the 13B in it. Great start from Riley here. Nice flick initiation, nice and wide, grabbing out to 1. Keeping it mid-track as they've asked for, nailing our clip 2. Heading up to outer zone 3. He's a little bit off outer zone 3, and that's allowed Aidan Daly to jump back on that door, but Riley McEwen back to his good form for outer zone 4. And giving Aidan Daly a great lead run for Aidan to be able to close that gap by the final turn and be up on the door of that 4-wheel drive warehouse RX-7.
So just taking another look here to make sure the judges have all the information they require. Don't forget there are 3 judges plus what we call a DSO or driving standards official. So that person has the ability to also review footage independently, and if they determine that there is something that may have been missed, they will bring that to the judges' attention just to ensure the fairest possible results, given how much is invested in. Look, there's no change from 10 grand, right, from coming down here just to the event, and that's without the $150,000 to $250,000 invested in building one of these cars. I certainly take my hat off to those who are willing and committed enough to want to invest that level of money. Can't do it without sponsors, and I know that there are a number of drivers who do want to thank and are very grateful to their sponsors, and they will do that throughout the course of the weekend during interviews, etc. And we try and get them out as much as we can over the course of a broadcast. Again, if you do see something you like here and there's a driver you want to jump forward with, then reach out to the team generally via their social media pages. Aidan Daly this time will have the lead on the one more time. Riley McEwen falls into formation. Riley McEwen about 2 car lengths back, but that's about right for the 235 development series. Riley McEwen just allowing enough room there for Aidan Daly to transfer as he needs to the outside zone number 3, and then you'll go out to oh, that's a big wild. Now you can't flick like that, can you, in front of someone?
You can pull it off, but Aidan, it looks like he just pulled that flick off into the last turn. He ended up being a little bit shallow into the ripples, which is not what they want for us to do.
That was kind of what I was wondering. Yeah. Just the way that he did it so aggressively as opposed to smoothly, it caused him to almost, I'd call it stop and chop, like out and then down the track, and then you're kind of thinking from Riley's point of view, where does he go? What have you just seen there, Ben?
It is a great start to the lap from Aidan Daly. He's a little bit shallow into outer zone 3, but then gets back into it for outer zone 4. But Riley McEwen's right there. He's in the perfect spot for the chase for what the lead that Aidan has given him. Yeah, and even with the large flick at the end from Aidan into the last corner, Riley was right there, and it didn't seem to faze him at all.
No, that was what I was just going to say. So the confidence of a 16-year-old to keep driving through that, where the big flick happens in front of him, but he doesn't allow it to impact what he wants to do. Like, he just stays in it. and you'll see that he is, so right there, he comes down the track, right? There's an adjustment there. There's like a left foot brake to bring him down the track, stay in drift, and he didn't get a fright and panic and get out of it, which is a real credit to him, and maybe it'll stand him good stead, and the result goes to Riley McEwen.
Good for you at the moment.
I'm pretty happy with myself, eh?
Mate, that was a hell of a battle, but you seem like all your battles today have been on point. If you think you need to improve anywhere, where does it have to be?
Maybe through that hairpin, but now I'm pretty comfortable on this track. I like the big, flowy, long tracks there.
You look like you've got no fear out there, and you're driving like that. Does it feel like that for you?
Yeah, it feels pretty fast, but Dad pays for the car, so it's fine.
Dad, put it on your card. He hasn't bent it yet. All right, well done. You're through. Just quickly. Mate, young up-and-comer, hey?
Oh, yeah, he's a good driver. Bloody good driver, that kid.
Where do you think you got it wrong?
Definitely the end of my lead. Coming around to that last corner, the rear end of the car slipped out and just felt it over-rotated a bit. I was able to pull it back, but a little bit too far gone. So
keep smiling, mate. You're always putting on a show.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Eve.
Okay, we're getting close to finding out who's going to be our round one winner in D1NZ Pro-SPORT. Let's get...
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Black Friday is back at Link ECU. 12% off plug-in ECUs, wire-in ECUs, Razor PDM, and we got 12% off select accessories. 15% off the G5 Voodoo Pro ECU, and this sale is going to be running from November 3rd to November 28th, so don't miss out.
We've got Sam Rowson, and he is waiting for his top 4 battle. I was chatting to him when we were watching the rerun of Aiden versus Riley and asking him who his preference was. Tell me about what you said.
Well, I was hoping for Aiden because he's had me 3 times now, so I thought it was about time I get one up on him. But no, that's good. We got Riley. He's putting on some pretty robotic leads, so should be good to chase.
He has been really, really good. You're going to have to wait another day for your redemption against Aiden, perhaps tomorrow. But all the best. Hope you make it through to the finals out there.
Thank you very much, Joe. We'll send it hard.
Thank you, Mr. Rowson. Thank you, Joe. Doing a great job down there in pit lane, bringing us... there's plenty of wit and vigour being delivered by these drivers, really, isn't there, Ben? How good was Riley McEwen? Just don't worry about it. Dad will pay for it.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Dad will pay for it. Like, I wonder how I get adopted by Ross. Do you reckon he needs a 47-year-old son? I don't know. We'll talk later.
Well, we all know how your last motorsport career went.
Hey, we don't need to go there. Look, you go upside down once or 10 times, and everyone judges you.
And remembers it.
Well, the only person that doesn't remember it is me, because I was briefly unconscious.
Didn't Cam Vernon sponsor the underside?
Yes. Oh, actually, now, the great segue. Thank you for doing that. Happy birthday to Rebecca Vernon. It is her birthday today. I've got no assumption that she will be tuned in because the Vernons will be out working hard on the farm. But happy birthday to Rebecca Vernon. And yes, Cameron and Rebecca did sponsor the underside of my car because his words were, and I quote, "At some point you are going upside down." We put the sticker on the car, and the next night I went upside down. So thank you, Cam and Becky. Some of my favourite people. Vernon Developments are sponsors of plenty of motorsport around the place. Got involved in a bit of Targa recently, and I heard that Cam is another driver looking potentially to come back to Pukekohe, Ben.
Really?
For the event that has you a little excited, talking about international drivers coming in and talking about some former drivers maybe that they're trying to lure back. I heard there's a guy who's a semi-professional fisherman these days. What's his name again?
Yeah, Gary the Goat. He's
Gary the Goat.
He's chomping at the bit to have another go at Pukekohe. It's been a couple of years for him, so it'll be good to see him back out there. We'll have 2 Phoenix S15s at that event, which will be good.
Did I hear a rumour? I think I heard right too that the judging panel will look completely different because all 3 of the judges want to drive. Is that?
That's correct for the Sunday.
Yeah, for Sunday.
For the Sunday.
Sorry, I should reference. Yes, this is for the Sunday because it is a big weekend festival, right? So. For those who are not aware, then kind of the way that it did work is that in order to enter the D1NZ round, you did need to do rounds 1 and 2 here at Invercargill in order to qualify for D1NZ for Pro and Pro Sport. So the field that you're seeing today is the field you'll see for the Friday and Saturday, but then Sunday looks very, very different. And what I do know is that the VIP and VVIP tickets are moving fast already because there is only going to be limited grandstand viewing there, and we will be seeing drivers who we definitely do not see very often, if ever, in New Zealand. And we are certainly expecting a very different vibe and flavour to that Sunday event too, where it kind of gets more to that one-off kind of, the way I describe it is, it's a bit like when you go to World Time Attack or you do an LZ or something, there's less pressure, so to speak, associated with a one-off standalone event than there is a series, because there's no points to consider, right? You just, as an LZ Fest winner yourself, you just go out and send it, right? Drive as hard as you can. Never mind, send it and bend it and fix it on Monday.
Yeah, that's exactly that's what you do at these one-off events. I've actually got something pretty special I've been working on the last couple of months that's going to be coming back out for that Pukekohe event. I don't know who is going to be in it. It'll definitely be an international person will be in it for sure, but there'll be a pretty cool car to see scream down Pukekohe front straight.
Well, I mean, I know the type of car you have a soft spot for, but look, I'm not going to spoil that for you on live stream. I think we're going to take another look at how Riley McEwen has locked himself into the top 4. So 16-year-old Riley, let's just let it sing, shall we? Don't need to talk over this one. So we are just looking at GT radio replays, just not speaking over the top of these at the moment. These are just replays. This is showing you how our top 4 has locked in the way it has. We have Blake Miles already locked into the final, awaiting an opponent. Isaac Aldridge locks into the 3rd versus 4th. Sam Rowson and Riley McEwen still to go head-to-head. The winner of that goes up against Blake, and the unsuccessful driver will go into the 3rd and 4th battle for a potential opportunity to stand on the podium here this afternoon for round number 1. Now, the results of round number 1 do set how you qualify for round number 2 tomorrow. So whoever wins becomes 1 seed, 2 and 3 and so on. So that will be that'll require a little bit of work from the D1NZ officials, Ben, having to work through qualifying orders, etc., as people have gone out in the 4, the 8, the 16, etc., just to see who sits where. It might seem like it's not overly important, but it certainly does impact maybe how difficult that first or second battle can be if you come up against a real gun driver early on. It can put you on the trailer early. Likewise, there are certain drivers that I think sometimes you just want to go head-to-head against because, like Sam Rowson said, for example, like he wants to go against Aidan Daly because Aidan's beaten him 3 times now, and he wants one back. But equally, Aidan Daly would be feeling like, well, I've beaten Sam 3 times. I'm not scared of him. So. Yeah, we'll see how that plays out as we march towards our pro competition this afternoon. This is the D1NZ National Drifting Championship, now a nationally sanctioned series under Motorsport New Zealand, which is a great outcome for the sport of drifting as it comes of age, and certainly adds that next level as you get involved in sponsorship programs, etc. Again, I'm going to thank our sponsors in Link ECU, GT Radio, Logitech, Mick, Ting Tools and Mimico, and also mention the fact that, look, if you do see something that you like, a car that you want to get involved in, a driver you think represents themselves pretty well on TV, then yeah, reach out to that driver and talk to them. And yeah, look, I would hand on heart say that investment in some of these programs, Ben, I think you could start from $500 to $1,000 for an entry level kind of deal, supporting someone that would pay for 4 or 6 tyres maybe, and a bit of fuel, and get involved in a program right through to spend as much as you want to do, right? Like you could throw $100, you could throw $100,000 at something if you want to. You'd be right with 100, wouldn't you? 100,000.
Yeah,
100,000.
yeah, 100,000.
100,000. Alrighty, so just being advised by Race Control that because we are a time certain event, that the 3rd and 4th place battle will not take place on the live stream. So the 3rd and 4th place battle will not take place on the live stream. That means we will run this battle, and then whoever wins this will go head to head with Blake Miles for 1st and 2nd, and straight into it. So Sam Rowson will lead away. Ryan McEwen in the chase position, and immediately you can see when the speed has just jumped up that extra notch there. Ryan McEwen is not holding back, he's not afraid, and he knows that Sam Rowson's going to stretch the legs on that Laurel. Ryan McEwen sitting there right with him, but Sam Rowson delivering that chaseable lead that is nice and wide. It's opened the door. Plenty of angle there from Rowson. We know he's a driver who favours angle, but what a run here from both of these drivers, Sam Rowson and young Riley McEwen. Great drive, and Riley McEwen hand out the window straight away. Both drivers actually, I just saw the little tap on the roof from Rowson and from McEwen, and both of those drivers feeling good about that one. Benny, technical analysis here, what did you see, if anything?
This is a nice and tidy lead from Sam Rowson. He's got 1, he's got 2, he fills out of zone 3 here, and allowing Riley to get up on the door. Riley does a switch first. It's always a cool look when the chase car switches before the lead. Sam Rowson, this is a great lead run to promote Riley to have such a good chase. This is a great run from both the boys.
If I'm sitting there judging, I'm going 5-5. I don't see it. I don't see enough in that. The only potential thing maybe is a little waver on minute lack of angle from Riley, so to speak, because we do know the FCs can go wide, like Andrew. There's just a little waver there.
Yeah.
Andrew Redwood was a great exponent of that. You remember the angle that Andrew Redwood used to be able to carry in his FC RX-7. He was, what was he, 3-time angle king, something like that. That's why he's pretty well qualified to be one of our judges here. But look, I'd say at this point in time she's pretty even. But again, just repeating that you will only see the winner of this battle go forward into the final against Blake Miles, because we are time certain. We must go off air to reset the track before we come back for our Sky TV broadcast this afternoon, and we move into pro, and Ben needs to leave because he needs to go and drive. I do appreciate the fact that you fueled yourself like a champion with gummy worms. How good is that? Professional drifters full of gummy worms. That was a lot of... Riley's gone!
Riley has blown ahead here. Nailed clip 1, nailed clip 2. Sam Rowson trying to catch up. Rowson has made a massive mistake in the chase here.
Oh, Rowson, it's got away on him. I think Riley shocked him with how fast he just flew out of the blocks. And from there, Sam Rowson's had to play catch up. He's made a mistake and then he's had to go shallow, but Riley's just gone. Now the only question here is, because I can't see this, was it just a speed differential, or did Sam miss a gear or something, or is it Riley's car is just that much? See, nothing came out of Sam's car.
Riley just took off. He was gone. The more mechanical grip in that FC, Sam Rowson just forced to play catch up, and that's created the mistake that he's unfortunately made between 2 and 3. Now, Ryder McEwen, this is a very, very nice lead run from the young man. Final corner, he does that final corner so well. Mid-track, if there was a chase car closer, they'd be right in the pocket and perfectly with him.
Oh, it is so
interesting.
Yeah, like
blowing it apart.
Pretty quick call. I mean, I would love to know. Just I don't know if Joe and Stephen are able to find out whether there was something that happened at the start there, just because Sam had been so consistent with the smoke produced off the back of the car. It just looked at the start there like it just didn't want to turn the tyres like it has. Whether that was just an adjustment and strategy from him, or I mean, we can maybe cover that off in a like a post-show kind of thing. And we're going down to Stephen McIvor, who's going to make someone's day and send them through to the final. Going through to the finals.
Well, Dad can keep paying the bills for a little bit longer. Congratulations, you're into your first Pro Sport final. To think you were the scholarship driver last year, mate, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked with that, eh? First or second guaranteed, so yeah.
Okay, so what's going through your head now? What are you going to do? Because we're against time. What's the next thing you do?
Blake's a pretty good driver, so I'm just going to give it a 100-point chase, 100-point lead, and just hope I don't crash.
Take that out of your head and go have a crack, right? Congratulations. Go get ready for that final.
Thank you.
Joe.
Unfortunately, you didn't get that one.
Little bit of a mistake coming out of into outer 3 there. Got a little bit crossed up. Surprised at how fast Riley's car is. Man, it's a rocket. Straight out the gate, he was just gone. I was like, holy moly. So a little bit of underestimating there on my behalf. But yeah, sort of tried to claw something back towards the end. But no, it was good. Good on him.
Yeah, we did see some uncharacteristic mistakes from you. I guess he caught you off guard there.
He did catch me off guard. Coming right out, I was like, holy moly, this guy's quick. So I tried to shortcut a wee bit and catch him up through that section there, but got a little bit crossed up, and that was there. So that was all she wrote. But
now, you have been managing to put this thing on quite a bit of angle, but not perhaps as much as you did last year, but you've really been carrying the pace. How do you find the narrow track with such a big car?
Well, there's not enough room, is there, to have that much angle, so I'm sort of forced here to run less angle, but yeah, I think we've got a bit more grip into the chassis now, and it is driving a lot better, so hopefully we can continue a bit of momentum going through the rest of the season, so return around and go tomorrow. So.
Exactly. Now, I do need to let you know that because of the time, we have had to drop the battle for 3rd and 4th. But that does mean, from your qualifying result, I believe that you'll still make it on the podium. And then that'll place you in a really good spot for the battles tomorrow. What are you looking forward about in the reverse section?
I think the reverse section looks like it flows a lot better from the entry, so I think there's not going to be any disparities on the gap between the drivers there, so that should be a nice flowy entry and tuck up onto the door, so that should be good. Looking forward to it. So
we're looking forward to it as well. In the meantime, while we wait for the changes for the final battle for Pro Sports, we'll take a quick break.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Black Friday is back at Link ECU. 12% off plug-in ECUs, wire-in ECUs, Razor PDM, and we got 12% off select accessories. 15% off the G5 Voodoo Pro ECU, and this sale is going to be running from November 3rd to November 28th, so don't miss out.
Welcome back to Teretonga. We are at the pointy end of the D1NZ National Drifting Championship Pro Sport Development Series. It is finals time, and we are about to see Blake Miles head-to-head against Riley McEwen. Now, it has been clarified that in line with the new rules brought in for the 25-26 season, the battle for third and fourth place is declared a draw. So Isaac Aldridge and Sam Rowson both finish in third place, and both will be awarded third place points. That was basically agreed upon by the drivers after last year, where we had a few instances where there was a grinder involved and some things had to be cut in half. So yeah, third points awarded to both drivers there for third place.
So that's why it's so important to qualify well. Because when you get into this sort of situation, like poor Isaac Aldridge, if this does happen, which all the drivers had voted for this rule change, Isaac Aldridge unfortunately missed out because Sam Rowson had qualified very well. So the emphasis is to do well in qualifying, not to just try and middle it out, get a couple of points and get through to battles. You need to pump those best runs.
Yeah, I think we're going to take a look at some highlights, Benny. So I do know that you need to go and get suited and booted shortly, so I'll forgive you if you have to disappear halfway through the final, because you've got a job to do this afternoon. We're going to take a look here at Sam Rowson getting into his work here in Tiger White. As you pointed out, Ben, he was headed for Bluff, going for some oysters or something or other, firing off the track. Josh LaRosa and Luke Chappell-Sare. Luke Chappell-Sare, I think, pretty happy with his effort here. Makes the top 8 for the first time. Riley McEwen, we're still going to see him again. He took out Johnny Burns. Johnny Burns, though, pretty happy with himself, given he got engaged on the way down here. Popped the question on the ferry. My apologies for singing earlier on the live stream. That was probably a bit uncalled for. Johnny Atwood went off-road looking for some fine Northland kumara. Dargaville's finest. Takes himself out against Aidan Daly. Got a little bit untidy there, did John Atwood, and there's been referenced a lot of power underneath the bonnet of the Barra C33 Laurel. Blake Miles, well, look, I don't think Blake Miles being in the final is a surprise to anyone. He is definitely a driver that has been earmarked for bigger things. I think he's basically pretty keen to win a title this year in Pro Sport if things play out that way, and then he'll see himself move up to the pro class. Isaac Aldridge, look, he's not going to be unhappy with third place and standing on the podium there. Yes, he's going to share it with Sam Rowson. Both of them will have third place points, and I don't know if we're cutting the trophies in half anymore, or whether they will each get one to display on the mantelpiece. But yeah, that's a good result for Isaac Aldridge for Landmark Homes. Qualifies in position 4 and goes home with third place points as well. And we've still got one battle to go here between Blake and Riley, so it's going to be an interesting one to watch. Two drivers who clearly have been the standouts thus far in terms of speed, style, flow, etc. Ben, again, as we make our way towards the final, a shout out to the sponsors who make sure that these things can happen down here. So you are watching, of course, the GT Radio replay. A thank you to Link ECU, who sponsored the start zone, where you see the one and only Launchmaster Willie. Thank you to Logitech, a partner this year. Thank you to Smick Mick, who sponsored the exit section and the hard park. Thank you to Ting Tools for the pro podium, and thank you to Mimico for supporting the VIP. So we are about ready to scrub, Ben. We got one to go, and then it'll be time for you to go and get down to business for the afternoon. So the live stream will go down, we'll come back, and we'll be on Oversteer TV under the premium subscription, $9.99 per month, or Sky TV, KO, or I believe also Pacific Direct. So it is Channel 5 where you will find us on Sky. So Channel 5 if you're looking for us on your Sky TV app, or on your Sky, or any of those types of pay TV subscriptions displaying D1NZ. So here we go, we're underway for the final. One last time, Ben Jenkins is the number one qualifier. Blake Miles gets the right to choose whether he leads. He chooses to lead, and he tries to run away, but here comes Riley McEwen. The rotary versus the 2J. Ben, Blake Miles has put the pressure on Riley, and Riley, has he shown the first crack there? He's run a wheel off the inside, and now he knows he's got a lot of work to do. He's gone shallow there to try and close up. That is what the judges did say to do. If you make a mistake, come back into the battle here and try and put the pressure on. Riley McEwen tries to fight back, but Blake Miles again, just clinical. Dr. Miles.
Is he a machine?
Dr. Miles.
Is he a machine? He is putting down some of the best lead runs we have seen all weekend. Blake Miles cannot fault him on this run.
Do you reckon that's the name? Blake the Machine Miles.
This is
like Bert Kreischer.
An amazing display of consistent driving from Blake Miles. Riley McEwen in the chase, doing a great job to grab that proximity again after that little mistake with the wheel off at turn 2. Tightening up at the end. Blake Miles, middle of the track, right at the end, last corner. That was an amazing run. That would be a high 90s run if I was judging.
Do you know who he reminds me of? Kurt Whitaker. Similar sort of driver. Like, it's not overly, like, it's not flary or anything. It's just if the judges say put it 2 millimeters from the edge of the track, he just puts it 2 millimeters from the edge of the track, time after time after time. They used to call it, like, former D1NZ commentator Steve used to always call him Mr. Perfect, in reference to the WWE character Mr. Perfect, because he used to just do that same thing time after time after time. The Doctor, the Machine. Hey, maybe Blake's team can come up with a great nickname for him, or Blake's boss, because I do know that Blake's boss is tuned in as well at the moment, sending us a couple of messages on the live stream. So maybe don't let us know what you call him at work, because that's probably not the right nickname for his racing career.
Riley's got a little bit to do here. He needs to pull off the most consistent and in the zone lead he has done, and Blake Miles just needs to give him a great chase. Let's see what Riley can do. He's already on the gas.
Rolling off the line with a big rolling burnout entry there from Riley McEwen. Nothing wrong with that. Starts to stretch the legs of the 13B. Here comes Blake Miles back at him with the 2JZ power, starting to turn the tyres. Both producing good tyre smoke out there. 235 radials going to tyre heaven, and Riley McEwen right on the edge of the track. But Blake Miles, he could lean in the window and order a hamburger. He's that close. Blake Miles putting the pressure on. Lean out the window and tap if you want to. Clap your hands, Teretonga. And out there in live stream land, Blake Miles, Riley McEwen. What a final. Look, it might have been a slow burn to get us here, Benny, but what a final. I dare you to find anything better than that anywhere in our pro sports and pro, like from a single battle perspective. The way that they started off separated, and then Blake Miles came back at him because Riley delivered that lead run that opened the door for him. That is some driving, and those drivers both so committed, just so fast, so flowing. Neither of them really lifting off the throttle a lot. Lots of nice just feathering throttle inputs. Just great driving from both, and we won't get given anything other than we'll get told there's a result. We won't get told if there's a winner, I don't think. So the judges look like they have decisioned. Look. Alrighty, so it sounds like we have got a decision, Ben, as the replay plays out for 1 4 time. Have you seen something there, mate? Have you?
Riley McEwen, amazing lead run from the young bloke, but Blake Miles, that's the chase of the day in pro sport, and he's waited right until the final to do it.
Right. Now, speaking of jobs to do, Stephen McIvor needs to give us a podium result, and you need to go and do some driving, mate. So on behalf of us here at the D1NZ team, great job for your first pro sport commentary. Thank you, Ben Jenkins, for joining me here in the box. I'm going to hand over now to Stephen McIvor, who takes care of proceedings down trackside, and let's see if we can find out who is our first pro sport winner for 25-26.
Yeah, just a reminder too that we're not going to run the battle for 3 and 4, and we'll run all the podium for this pro sport opening round of the weekend after the pros, live on Sky Sport, KO and Fox. So who is going to be round 1 winner for pro sport and D1NZ? Is it going to be the kid who's putting all on dad's card, or is it going to be Blake Miles, your top qualifier? Blake Miles!
Driving, bro. Sorry about the door. No, killing it.
Just stay there for 2 seconds, and congratulations, mate. You win round 1. You have been nothing but on point from the get-go.
Nah, cheers, thank you. We've been pretty on form, pretty confident all weekend, so it's good to come away with a good result for the first round.
How much confidence does it give you now going into tomorrow?
A good bit of confidence. You know, we know the car's got the pace, and we know it's performing well, so yeah, we can go into tomorrow pretty confident. I think that layout's going to be pretty fun too, so looking forward to it.
Congratulations, you're a round 1 winner, my friend. Okay, keep putting that on dad's card. First final in pro sport, correct?
Yeah, pretty happy with that, eh? Can't complain with second place.
Mate, you were a scholarship driver last year. You should be doing backflips down the back straight here. What's been the secret in this first round?
Just get on the door early and just don't lift the whole track.
All right, mate, congratulations. You've got another day to do. Maybe you can get him tomorrow, but there you go. Blake Miles is your Pro Sport winner for round 1 of D1NZ. We'll give you some highlights and then we're done. We're back on Sky Sport from 2:15, Fox and KO. The big boys come out to play in the pros and D1NZ live from Teretonga. Get amongst it.